Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. We have made it to Friday as Stiles and Watkins take you up to 2 p.m. Jason Ross in the crossover Friday Fun and Games asked me when Friday was made. I was off by, 2 years? Friday, the movie
came
out.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, the movie
Yes.
came out in 1995. Outstanding movie. And a lot of people, when you switch from, who was it, Smokey, the main character, when that went from Chris Tucker to Mike Epps, I really thought a lot of people, not that I was about 9 years old at that point, but that was one of the rare switchovers that people really do like next Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Friday after next just as much. So shout out to Friday.
Next Friday for sure.
There you go. Shout out to Friday on a Friday.
Yes.
As we talk NFL draft, it's going to be a little bit flipped based on how we normally do the show because of the NFL draft. Right. We will be starting the first half of the show with NFL stuff and ending with Kings and NBA stuff for the last couple of hours. So all NFL draft here to start, and then we will switch back on over around noon to talk NBA, Joel Embiid, the Lakers, who are a complete joke after all that. Sam Amick just put out an article on the Lakers about all that they had to say, and they're on the verge. To me, Chris, it's the same now. It doesn't really matter to me if they win because that's the pride gut check game. I don't care about that. Yeah. You got to win the first one at home. Yes. You win the last one on your way out just to get the gentleman's sweep. That's a sweep to me. That is for all intents and purposes a sweep to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can get your like you said, I think you just said it's a pride game. That's exactly what it is. It's hey, we're not going to go down like this.
Right.
Okay, I'm LeBron James. We got Anthony Davis. We're the Los Angeles Lakers. We don't go down like this. And they can whatever. They can rally around it as much as they want. But yeah, that series is over. The Nuggets are a much better team. I think now they've won 11 straight games against the Lakers. You love to see it. You just love to see Laker downfall. But ultimately that's a situation where they are going to have a lot of questions because nobody's brought it up. But LeBron James, I believe, can go to whatever team he wants this offseason if he so chooses. So, who knows? We talk a lot about Malik Monk in his comments on how the Kings season ends will affect my decision in free agency. Well, if the Lakers lose in the first round, I don't know how convinced LeBron could be that, a tweak here and there, and we turn this first round exit and 2 sweeps against the Nuggets into, we can win the conference. Like that's insane. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops too.
And we spoke with athletic writer for the Lakers, Jovan Buha.
Right,
and at the time he said, hey, next season is the season where LeBron might get spicy, but I don't think that anybody was not only, and I know I just said that the last game doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, but if they do get straight up swept,
yes,
I would love to talk to Jovan again. And also, whenever it is over for the Lakers, Chris, I cannot wait to find all the sound of all the talking heads in the offseason talking about how they won the offseason. This team is going to do some damage. I will love when Baby Sal is at nap time. I can't wait to sift through all of that. But they're not done yet. We talk NFL and the NFL draft, there were a record 23 offensive players selected in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. And based on the number from ESPN, around 40% of those guys will actually be good when it's all said and done. You just hope that your team didn't take the stinker. Again, 27% as far as wide receivers signing a second contract with the team that signed them. Will Ricky Pearsall be one of those guys? Okay, 6'1", we have plenty of sound to play on him. 6'1", he had that outstanding catch that everybody keeps playing, his OBJ moment. So we'll talk about Ricky. Was that the right move? What does that mean for Brandon Ayuk? What does that mean for Deebo Samuel? And Raider Nation, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. Brock Bowers, they go offensive. Raider fans weren't thrilled about that.
Interesting.
So now, because now you've drafted 2 tight ends, back-to-back years. Brock Bowers, shout out Napa, somewhat of a local guy, shout out Napa, and what Brock Bowers did in Georgia, now he's headed to Vegas. What's funny, Chris, is that before the Raiders moved to Vegas, their training camp facility was in Napa.
Yeah, it was.
So I wonder if Brock ever just stopped by just to check it out.
Yeah.
So Brock Bowers headed to the Raiders. He might even be a Raider fan. Who knows? And at this point, Chris, I think it's easy to say, or we can surmise, that we are about, I feel confident in saying this now, we're about 10 to 15 years away from flag football. Chris, that's where we're going.
Why do
That's
you say, what about last night?
23 offensive players selected.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's going to be 7-on-7 in 30 years.
I'm sure there'll be some subset of a league that definitely is 7-on-7 or flag football, or maybe it's like, maybe that's what the USFL turns into, or the UFL, whatever they're calling it now. It's insane. 23 offensive players is nuts. I don't know if that's a symbol of where this game is changing, like you're saying, just becoming incredibly offensive minded, or if it is truly just maybe a down year for defensive players. I didn't do a ton of research into this year's draft, but it did seem like there was just a crazy amount of talent at certain positions too. So, when you have 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10, 6 in the top 12, you had 4 receivers go in the top 20 of the draft or whatever it was. I do think that some of it is just a big swelling of talent in some really valuable positions, but it's kind of crazy that 23 of 32 end up being offensive players. That's definitely not nothing. That has to be a symbol of just where this game is at, and definitely, like you said, I mean, where it's going, it definitely seems like it's going to be possibly like a glorified version of 7-on-7.
That's what I'm saying.
I think a big part of that too was the lack of offensive linemen in the league.
Sure.
The scarcity. A lot of those picks were straight up just offensive tackles.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right. Yeah. We should break it down, not just offensive to
skill position.
Skill positions.
That was different
because it's still
went
because there's no running backs went or anything like that.
No running backs.
I don't recall.
Oh, I didn't even realize
not a single
that.
running back will ever
That's
go in the first round ever again.
Even though they have a higher
Bijan.
percentage of re-signing that second contract than wide receivers.
Just the value is not there, though. It doesn't make sense to pay a running back that much money.
When it's flag football, though, they'll be going a lot higher.
So I have a question, and I don't even know how you would use a running back in flag football, but we'll talk about it in 25 years. So I have a question on the draft, and I put this. I haven't even checked the results here, but I put this on my X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Here it is. And I said, very important question. Do y'all like that all picks get leaked, or do you like the surprise on TV? My first option was I like the reports. My second option was old school. I like TV. I won't say the percentage. I want to get your answers first. And also, everybody listening, 916-339-1140. Text line, call line, Sack Chat. Do you like the new era? And this has been going on, I don't know, for maybe 10 years now, but every season, Chris, I just put my phone down because I just like the surprise. I don't know, maybe it's very old school of me. Thank you, Adam Schefter. Thank you, random guy who's trying to prove that you have a source in the league, that you beat somebody. My TV is already slower anyway, so even when it was Bleacher Report or ESPN, I would be late. But do you like when picks get leaked, or do you prefer old school? I just want to see it get called, man.
I hate it. If you're asking me. I'm all for it's exciting when I first discovered it 10 years ago. Has it been happening in the NBA longer?
Yes. Because I don't know about longer.
Yes. No, Woj kind of pioneered it a bit.
That's where I first found it out. And that I think the first NBA draft I was like all on board for was the Fox draft.
Sure.
I was like so stoked.
Right. I just need to know. I need to know.
Yeah. And
maybe that's a good point if you don't have a horse in the race.
I'm at a point in my life, I don't care. I want the surprise. It's if they're doing a whole show, they're doing a whole shindig. They're going to Vegas. They're going to Detroit. They're making a giant show. They're bringing out silly Eminem saying
so dumb,
stupid things.
Dumb.
They're bringing out.
Let's rap.
You guys saw they brought out all these Lions players to go up to the mic and say like 2 words.
Yes, it was so awkward. Yeah.
But if they're gonna do a show,
Calvin Johnson literally said, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
And then walked back. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, "Is that his catchphrase or something?"
Yeah,
I don't
it is now.
I've never heard him talk before.
Exactly.
I've just seen him catch. So I think if you're gonna do it like that, preferably I'd have it live and not leak before. So I tried not to pay attention, except for I had to do a little work last night, so I had to find out for the Niners a little early. I actually got duped. I got duped.
Right,
that's the worst.
and that was the only one that was incorrect. Was the Niners one, and it might be somebody that they end up taking today, but the only way they're going to do that is if somebody gets moved. Chris,
Interesting.
Where are you at?
I am usually all in on the phone. I'm like, especially for the NBA draft, which I do think there's also a difference between NFL and NBA draft because the NFL does do a good job. Maybe it's because they have 30 minutes in between these picks, but the NFL television broadcast does a lot better job of keeping up with the trade. So in the NBA, you have the classic of this guy's wearing the draft hat, but we all know he's not on that team. And so the broadcast isn't really caught up with real life. In the NFL, you know, you see a situation where, the Vikings trade up to number 10 to get JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy is wearing the Vikings hat. There is no confusion. It is as cut and dry as the Vikings traded up to number 10. It's announced on the broadcast, and then the Vikings make the pick. So yesterday was, I believe, the first time I truly just said, I'm going to watch the broadcast, and that's what's happening. I'm not looking at my phone. I don't want to hear that the Vikings traded up to number 3. I want to be surprised in the moment. And, of course, you know, what I ended up wanting to happen didn't happen. But ultimately, I did like the experience of watching it on the TV, kind of for all the things Nate listed. Like, I think there is an element of this is real. This is, you know, and not to get too philosophical, but like in today's day and age, like how many times do you really have appointment television to where it's just, hey, I'm watching this thing. It's gonna, like, this is what I'm locked into, nothing else. This is gonna tell me all the information that I want to know. So I don't need to look on my phone. NBA draft, though, you almost have to, because all the picks that are happening, and it just feels like there's a lot more going on.
Where does it end? Where does it end? Is Woj going to leak during the finals? That shot by LeBron James went in. Before it goes in, would people be into that?
I don't think so.
Would people be into that?
No.
Is nothing sacred anymore? All right, when we return, Caleb Williams goes number 1, and he broke some records. He broke Caitlin Clark's record as far as fanatics and the jersey sale. So apparently, people don't care about nail polish that much. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? You were a bit surprised at how much it cost, or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacktown Sports.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Caleb Williams goes number 1 to, and you know, it's kind of fitting. Caleb Williams goes number 1, and Joe Giroux, our digital lead, his last day. He is a Bears fan, and Joe gets his guy before he leaves. And look, people tried to talk themselves out of it for reasons that we will get into, but ultimately, you just couldn't be wrong on this. You could not make the mistake. And Chris, this is what I say sometimes with Raider fans, as bad as it ended up turning out. This is what I say with Raider fans and Jamarcus Russell, because everybody roasts Jamarcus Russell, and yeah, he ended up being a bust. But if you needed a quarterback, it's not as if the Raiders reached for Jamarcus. Anybody in that position that needed a quarterback was probably going to take Jamarcus Russell.
Not that high. I remember that draft because the
They
Vikings
needed a QB.
wanted. There was rumors that the Vikings were going to take Jamarcus Russell at 7, and Brady Quinn was actually like the hot name that year.
Well, it turns out either way,
either one of them's trash.
Yes, either way, it was not going to work out for you. But when everybody is saying, hey, you kind of got to go in this direction, and it never really, what's interesting is that it never really happened with Trevor Lawrence. We spent some time talking about Trevor Lawrence yesterday, and there was a hot second maybe where Zach will, because when you are the number one projected pick for so long, I think human nature is just to get tired of it.
Yeah,
right?
why? Tell me why he's that good. Oh,
yes.
he's that good? Okay.
Yes. You already have fatigue before this person has even done anything. There wasn't really any Trevor Lawrence fatigue, partly because I think they did win the national championship. I think they maybe lost his senior year, but they had won junior year. So maybe that fought off some of the fatigue, or they felt like he proved it. Mm-hmm. And whoever else was in that draft, I believe he beat Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. So, all right, he's better than Justin Fields. And really, the only other person that I think it even got talked about for a hot second was Zach Wilson. But a lot of times when somebody is crowned too early, if for lack of a better term, people just say that's just too much. And I think that some of that is what happened with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, this is per Front Office Sports. Caleb Williams broke Fanatics' record for draft night merch sales for any sport, according to the company. The Bears QB surpassed a previous record set last week by Caitlin Clark. So just two polarizing players in completely different ways. And they both get hate in different ways for different reasons. And I said this last night, Chris, I just thought it was funny how a bunch of people that never have cared about women's basketball before were defending the hate Caitlin Clark was receiving, right? They were caping up for Caitlin Clark. She doesn't deserve this. And I don't think she does. What I said on these airwaves is that every polarizing athlete receives some type of hate. If you are a groundbreaking player and a groundbreaking athlete, people are going to say, well, is she really that good? Is it because of X? Is it because of Y? Is it because of Z? It's not. It was never a Caitlin Clark thing. Those same people have no problem hating on Caleb Williams for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. I went back and forth with people yesterday. Some people said, well, he tweeted LOL when Max Duggan was crying, and I explained, I'm pretty sure he tweeted that because he was trying to illustrate how media will look at different athletes crying and react to it differently. The whole thing we were just talking during the break about the ownership stake thing. We get all that,
kind of crazy.
It's insane. That's also his daddy. Yeah. That's not him. You know what I mean? So all in all, has he really done anything to garner this hate? No. I don't think so. And he was talking, they had Cam Newton, I believe it was the NFL Network. The NFL Network had Cam Newton, and Cam Newton interviewed him, and Caleb went on to say, I dress different. I paint my nails, and Cam Newton said, hey, I get it. I've kind of been there, or I can relate to that. And when people are different, it makes people uncomfortable. But here is Caleb Williams, and there was so much sound yesterday. All these guys had to do 10, 15, 20 interviews. So we tried to find what best fit what we're talking about here the most. And this is Caleb Williams on being unapologetically himself.
When I look into the mirror, when I wake up around 7 a.m., 6 a.m., when I look into the mirror, I know who that guy is. I love that guy. I treat the guy with respect, just like I do any other, human around me. And that goes a long way for myself. That's why I am who I am. I do what I do. And I treat myself the way that I do because, I know who that guy is. I love that guy. And I'm going to treat that guy just as, that guy was somebody else that just met me, walked into the room with, one of my best friends. And so that's why I'm so unapologetic. I'm unapologetic about who I am.
I have something really random from that.
Okay.
I know we're talking about hating on Caleb Williams, or not just randomly trying to hate on Caleb Williams, but I love that he randomly threw in there for no reason at all. Yeah, I get up at 6 or 7.
Oh yeah. Well, it was 7, and then it turned.
Yeah,
to 6.
Then it turned to 6. Yeah, because 7's not grinding.
It's not. It's not grinding enough.
I love that.
That extra hour.
Yeah, I always love it when it's such. I hate that narrative so much. I hate to turn this into something that wasn't initially what we planned to talk about, but you get up early and so that means you work hard thing. I've never understood where it can't, because if you stay up late, all of a sudden you're a loser. You're not getting sleep. You're probably up. wasting time. You must
Gaming.
be gaming,
Probably.
watching TV or whatever. But you could just as easily be putting in the same work and just at a different time. I've just never understood that. Sorry. Didn't mean to take that quote as a complete random
most people just say I can sleep when I die. Real grinders stay up
That's
late
true.
and wake up early.
Fact.
Real grinders,
that's a fact right
real
there.
grinders only need about 4 hours of sleep.
Nobody talks about it.
That's what I'm saying. You wake up early. Why wake up early? You know when you wake up the earliest? When you don't go to sleep.
When you don't go to
sleep.
If
you don't go to sleep, then you're always grinding.
You're always grinding. It does not stop.
Time is money.
Come on.
You cannot make money while sleeping.
And for that reason, Caleb Williams will be a bust. Okay. That's ridiculous.
I thought it was the opposite because he wakes up early.
Well, no, I mean,
somebody's waking up earlier, though. Maybe Michael Penix
Exactly.
Jr., who will be in Hot Atlanta. But yeah, getting back to Caleb Williams and 916-339-1140, just seeing people say, I saw a guy, he was a Niner content creator guy, and he said, just straight up. And I guess I kind of appreciate it in a way as well. He just said, you can call me what you want, but Caleb Williams and his nail-painting self, I wouldn't want him on my team. I highly disagree with that take. Yeah. But I guess there's something to be said about being honest. I don't know.
I just don't. I mean, if that's your criticism, like, I will never understand why any of that matters. Like, I just
and he says, call me what you want. Well, we will.
Yeah, we will. We're going to call you a lot for having, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, if this guy, and the crazy thing is, this guy is the first quarterback that I believe we have had that has been a draft comp as Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. And people are finding ways to just the most painting nails and crying on the side, or crying in the stands with his mom. Like, why do we care? Why does any of that matter? If this guy truly does become even 80% of Patrick Mahomes, why does it matter if he paints his nails or if he cries on the side? Like, I don't see why any of that matters. It matters if you want to say, whatever. If you want to spiral and say, oh, he's crying, he's, not emotionally developed enough to lead a locker room, or, hey, if you have a big loss or something, whatever, I can maybe understand that. But even that feels like a bit of a stretch. If you're talking about a guy who has the talent he has, I think that's something that you have to just be able to live with. You have to figure as he gets older, that'll mature. It's just maybe a one case scenario. And the talent is the thing that you're really betting on.
Right. And I thought what was funny to me is that person who said that feels like they have their guy with Brock Purdy. Okay. So it's very easy to have these takes when you have a quarterback. So if you have a franchise guy, I really don't care what your take is, because you can go into this reality where you don't need a quarterback, but deep down, you have your guy. So you can say whatever you want about Caleb Williams because you already have your guy. If that same guy was a Bears fan, maybe he would say, well, I want Drake May. Maybe he would say he wanted somebody else. Sure. But when you're looking at it in the face and you don't have a quarterback, I would, not to say you would be right in that regard if you still had the same take, but it's easy to say that when you have a franchise guy or somebody who you believe to have a franchise guy. Why are you even talking about it?
Right.
Why are you even talking about it?
Yeah, it doesn't concern you at all, really. I mean, it will be interesting, though. I mean, I understand that, Chicago is definitely a city that's got this hard-nosed, tough guy kind of mindset and mentality with just the city in total.
Well, didn't one of the players say, well, he can't bring that Hollywood stuff here? Right. And that, that's worse than the Diana Taurasi, Caitlin Clark
He's
stuff.
really
because,
testing
brother,
people's
You're on the
ignorance
same
here.
time.
Yes.
You're on the same team.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? All right, when we return, biggest surprises of the night. Hot Atlanta ruining Chris's day, ruining Raider fans' day. What is going on? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whether you prefer thrills or serenity, the 2024 Accord from Elk Grove Honda delivers both. With Honda Sensing Standard, the 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in car and driver award history. Drive a 2024 Accord Hybrid and see for yourself what the fuss is all about. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Hi, it's Brian from Bennett's Restaurants. Springtime is a fun time, so to celebrate, we created a new menu of our favorites from Baja. Plenty of new food. Enjoy grilled skirt steak, wild prawns with pineapple, fresh sea bass, and Sonoran beef enchiladas, to mention a few. Try our empanada stuffed with carnitas and cheese. Love shrimp? Try the new shrimp tostada. We make great guacamole and salsa too. Enjoy our newest dessert, Kylie's Churros, with a vanilla cream center. Visit Bennett'sRestaurants.com and come enjoy the new Baja menu today. Eat well, stay well.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with 0 down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Sacktown Sports.
Surprise, surprise. That is what happened, because I was sitting there and there was so much talk about who's going to trade up. I even thought there was a glimmer of hope for Raider Nation to get Jaden Daniel. And I thought possibly if he lasted, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I thought maybe the Patriots would trade back and they could get him at 3, but that wasn't going to be the case because the Commanders ended up taking their guy. So it was pretty chalk for a while until Hotlanta decided to shake things up to say, we don't want just one injured quarterback. We want 2 injured quarterbacks. Not that Michael Penix Jr. is injured, but he has had a ton of injuries. He's older, one of the older guys from the COVID situation, Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr., 2 older quarterbacks in the draft. By the way, we will be joined by Emil Fergoso at 11:30, and he will be on to break down all things Niners and the draft in general. But Michael Penix Jr. deciding that he's going to take his talents to Atlanta. Well, Atlanta decided for him, and it was pretty bizarre, Chris. This is from Diana Rossini. Michael Penix Jr. did not take a top 30 visit to Flowery Branch. The Falcons only attended a 45-minute workout and met with him at the Combine. It's almost unheard of for a QB taken in the first round to not be on a team's top 30. In the end, Atlanta felt comfortable with the work they did. This is after shoveling a ton of money to the 2-1 Kirk Cousins, and it was just really bizarre. I mean, I don't know that we know it's the right or wrong move, but it didn't look right at first. And then you had the I don't know if you saw the video, Chris, of the owner talking to the GM and, hey, okay, well, was he around? Was he not around? Just a bizarre decision out of Atlanta.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. My favorite number from yesterday was somebody tweeted it out, and I just confirmed it myself. Michael Penix's birthday is May 8th in the year 2000. One Trey Lance was born May 9th of the year 2000. So Michael Penix is actually older than Trey Lance is.
And he's going to play 5,000 times as many snaps. Trey Lance.
Well,
are we sure?
There was literally a quote yesterday from the Atlanta GM that said, if he sits for 4 or 5 years, that's a good thing. That's probably a good thing. It means that we're doing well, which is just insane. I have no idea what the Falcons were thinking. I've been trying to make sense of it a little. And the problem is, even if Michael Penix is a great quarterback, like one of the best, top 10 in the NFL, the process of it still doesn't make any sense because there's no way that you should pay a quarterback $100 million guaranteed like they did in Kirk Cousins and then go around and take a quarterback 8th overall. That process, especially not when he's 24 years old. That means, Kirk's contract is, I believe, 2 years at least. So we're saying Penix is going to get a start at 26, and then his contract goes till he's 28, and then you re-up on that contract. You're essentially losing 4 years of development. Like if you would have taken JJ McCarthy, who's 21 years old, you still can sit him for those years. He's going to be 23. He's going to be younger than Michael Penix is right now by the time you're ready to actually throw him out there. So I don't understand the logic because you don't get the benefits like the Niners have right now of having a quarterback on a rookie deal because you're still paying the position $100 million. So you don't get any of the benefits. And now you don't get any players either. Like, you're telling me the Falcons are just ready to win a Super Bowl right now? They couldn't have used that pick.
It's bizarre.
If Michael Penix doesn't play for 3 years, you're telling me there's nobody they could have taken that would have been impactful these next 3 years. No. It's nuts. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, and then I saw some graphics saying who's stopping this offense with both of them, and everyone's responding saying, what are they going to run the wishbone? I mean, they don't play. The 2 quarterbacks aren't going to play at one time. What does this even mean? Let's hear from Mina Kimes, who had some things to say about Atlanta's decision to take Michael Penix Jr.
I could not agree more, and I find the justification, which to be somewhat logically incoherent. I'll start here. You said they're going to be good. They're not going to be in a position to get a quarterback. If you think you're going to be good, which is why you pay Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed, you're doing your team a disservice by not making your team better so that you can compete now. Offensively, they're set. Defensively, they haven't had a solid pass rushing option since, frankly, John Abraham. They finished 32nd in ESPN's pass rush win rate last year. In this draft, you have an opportunity to either take the best edge rusher available or trade down and take multiple shots on goal. They did neither of those things. I don't love the depth for edge rusher in this class, by the way, so they're not going to improve on that side of the ball. And in Penix, they get a quarterback who's not a developmental prospect. Terry, the GM, mentioned the Jordan Love model, or it was Raheem, rather. Jordan Love was 21 when the Packers took him. Michael Penix is about to turn 24 years old. In the pathway that you're describing, where maybe he sits for a couple of years, and if he doesn't, something's gone horribly wrong, and the Kirk Cousins contract was a huge waste, by the way. He's going to be 26 years old, so you'll have wasted most of his rookie contract. It's a quarterback who probably should have played right away. The track record of quarterbacks who do start at that age in the NFL the first time, Dan, as you know, is not good. I just don't get this, frankly. I've been trying to understand it because I was shocked and I went through, okay, well, the Kirk Cousins contract, the timeline, all of it, it just doesn't add up.
Bizarre.
It's terrible. I mean, I didn't even consider that they should have just traded back too. Like, it's not even necessarily, I guess, an overall problem of taking a quarterback, but Penix would have been available. I mean, who knows, I guess, because you saw what ended up happening. The Broncos clearly felt a sense of pressure and said, we either take Bo Nix now or we run the risk of leaving here without a quarterback. So maybe that same sense of desperation would have been there and they would have taken Penix possibly, but
they wouldn't have taken Penix.
I mean, they definitely could have taken Penix. I don't think I don't believe Bo Nix was first on their board. I just think that ultimately, like, you could have, you pretty much ruined the value. Like, you could have gotten 2 picks back in the first. I mean, you probably even could have traded with the Vikings and gotten their 2 first-round picks. It just doesn't make any sense. There's nothing about it that makes any logical sense to me at all.
Would you have wanted Michael Penix Jr. over J.J. McCarthy?
As a blanket, probably not. But, like, I would have, if the Vikings would have taken somebody at 11 and then gotten Penix at 23, sure, like, from a value perspective, yeah.
No, I'm saying instead of that pick.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm okay with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay. Okay.
They're both fine. I mean, and then, like I said earlier, J.J. McCarthy's 21 years old. So you've got a lot of room to grow with that. And, of course, if he's not good anyway, it doesn't matter. But ultimately, if J.J. is good, you have a much longer career, ideally, with J.J. McCarthy than you would with Michael Penix as well.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know what the Falcons are really thinking in terms of the NFL is such a win now league all the time. This isn't a situation where you're looking for the future unless you found out. The only thing I can think, and I haven't heard anybody else say this, Chris, did you find out something about Kirk Cousins?
But if you did, then you're stupid for paying him $100 million. Like, that means that you did. Like, either way, it's a mistake. Like, if you messed up with Kirk Cousins, then clearly that's a mistake. And I don't understand how you're going to, and then, then there's the whole side of they didn't tell Kirk either until apparently the pick was pretty much already in motion. And I understand maybe, they were afraid of, hey, we tell Kirk's agent and then Kirk's agent starts to tell other people. And, that kind of creates a domino effect that means that the maybe Atlanta never gets an opportunity to take him. But nothing about it makes any sense. It's really strange. And this is why the draft is great, though, because the NFL specifically, it's like, in a weird way, it's almost like free throws in basketball, where free throws are the only time where everybody in the gym is just looking at you. It's like an open layup, you know, everybody is focused on you. And if you mess it up, everybody's going to look at you and know it was your fault. There's no one else to blame. And in a weird way, the draft is like that too, where it's all eyes are on you. All the pressure is on you. And if you mess it up, everybody's going to talk about it.
From the 209, I'm actually a Falcons fan, and they actually have a decent amount of offensive weapons. Believe it or not, I'm kind of okay with this move. We have needed a franchise QB since Ryan was released. Yeah, we got Cousins, but he's coming off an injury. So I like it from the just in case Cousins gets hurt, we have a backup. And
that's what Gardner Minshew is for.
But I'll say this for the 209, and the 209 probably feels like this. Yo, it ain't my money, right? I would say that
it's your team.
It's your team, and you could have got better.
Yes,
you could have got better. You could have got a DB. You could have got another wide receiver. I don't get it, but from a money perspective, yeah, if you want to pay that money, I'm not going to pocket watch. Those days are over because of King's loss. Right. Stiles and Watkins, when we return, Niners take Ricky Pearsall. Let's talk about him. Yeah. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Nothing tastes better than a craft beer on a beautiful afternoon. Sunrise Marketplace is transforming the Sunrise Mall parking lot into a backyard hangout on May 18th, featuring the best craft breweries, home brewers, cideries, meaderies, and distilleries, plus food trucks, backyard games, and one of the best events happening this year. Tickets are on sale now at shopsmp.com. Use discount code BREW24 for $5 off general admission. Every ticket helps support Citrus Heights Heart and Citrus Heights Rotary.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit ZachLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Miniature golf has been around America since 1916, with the first course opening in Pinehurst, North Carolina, according to Links magazine. Englishman James Barber built a course in his backyard called Lilliputian. A few years later, he built a second course and called it Thistledew. Unlike today's mini golf courses, This'll-Do wasn't for children. The 18-hole course was made of compacted sand and clay, making it quite difficult. Today's clown mouths or windmills were nowhere to be found, as the course featured real hazards like rocks, trees, and grass bunkers. 4 holes even required a high-lofted niblick to carry bushes and long grass. Longest hole was 71 feet, shortest was 12. Golf fanatic Thomas McCullough Fairbairn revolutionized the game in 1922 with his formulation of a suitable artificial green consisting of a mixture of cottonseed hulls, sand, oil, and dye. 100 years later, This'll-Do has returned to its home at Pinehurst Resort, and guests can play the new This'll-Do. Please leave your niblick at home. That's your golf.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Ricky Pearsall out of Florida, taken with the 31st pick in the draft. He played with Brandon Ayuk at ASU, and Brandon Ayuk went on to say he allegedly tweeted, or not allegedly, Kyle Shanahan said he texted him during their press conference saying, "Fire pick. I can't even lie." Nate, what were your thoughts? We will get the thoughts from Emil Fergrosso as well at 11:30. I did not see this coming at all. I mean, there are a lot of needs, and this is what happens. It's the rotation. It goes from, hey, this doesn't make sense. Everybody's upset. And then they talk themselves into it being the right thing. There are people that say, they're smarter than me. It's fine. Nate, what were your initial thoughts?
Just on the pick overall?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a couple things going on in here. I was pretty devastated when I saw a receiver. I did say earlier I got duped into thinking it was Dijon, not the mustard. I was like, okay, corner, that's what we need, that's where an upgrade can be done. And then I saw receiver and I just went, oh, it's Ayuk's gone. That was my initial reaction.
Same.
That's what I was thinking all day. Had a couple texts come in right away, be like, oh, see Ayuk. I had people put up on my Instagram story like, bye Ayuk, and then people responded to me like,
bye Ayuk.
Yeah, bye Ayuk. No, he's not gone. It's going to be Debo, all this stuff, and it just feels like Ayuk's going away. Just with all the drama around it. If I had to put a number, I think 80% he's gone. But that wasn't really the question. It was more about the guy, right, coming in.
I think it all goes into it.
It all goes into it. I mean, I don't see them keeping all three. And Mike Silver.
No, and
also,
Jawan.
And Jawan. And you kept Jawan.
They just I've talked about this before. They just drafted Ronnie Bell. Of course, a late pick, but a guy they've used.
Mm-hmm.
They used him last year, not only on special teams, but on offense, and not in the most, not like, oh, Ronnie's getting some run with the starters. It's because of injury he was playing or garbage time with Darnold. And then you got Danny Gray still, who was doghouse last year, who's like a speed demon. Some guys are still high on him. They were high. When I was at training camp last year, he looked good. He looked good until he got hurt, and then he was put in the doghouse, it seemed. And you got to assume because of blocking, because of your least favorite word, the scheme the Niners run.
I love the scheme.
Oh, you love? Okay, so you flip flop on the scheme, and you flip flop on Brock.
I don't love the scheme.
Okay, you didn't like skinny Brock, but you like jacked Brock.
Well, Jack Brock is that's different now.
It's more fun. Yeah. Ricky, I'm stoked about. I'm not going to sit here and pretend.
Sure.
I knew everything about the guy. I'm figuring out things as we're going along. That catch is sick. If you haven't seen it, if you look the guy up,
you're not going to find a better catch.
It's going to be the first thing. If you look up Ricky Pearsall, it's going to be. First of all, I got to make sure I'm pronouncing his name right, and I'm pretty sure that's right.
That's
that's the most. Yeah. I remember when we drafted Debo, and I'm like, the guy from Friday, like what?
Came out today.
Yeah,
1994.
Oh yeah, true. Another full circle. I'm excited. I'm trying to be excited. He's pretty tough looking dude. a lot of people just saying how underrated he was, but we'll get into some audio later, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
It's a good word.
A lot of, I think some people are assuming that we're rocking with Debo and Ayuk this year and one's going next year, no matter what, which
So all
would probably
three?
be Debo. I don't know. I didn't love the pick. I wanted offensive guard. That's what I wanted.
You know what? The one thing I'll say, I was talking with my buddy who's a Niners fan, lifelong Niners fan, and it feels like, in a way, the Niners, and I'm trying to say this in a way that is not disrespectful to Debo, but it feels like the Niners have outgrown Debo. Okay, the security blanket for Brock Purdy is Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is a very traditional receiver. Debo is not. Debo is more of an escape valve. He is a weapon. All right. And I feel like with Jimmy Garoppolo, Debo was needed because Jimmy Garoppolo is not as good as Brock Purdy. And when Jimmy started to Jimmy, okay, Debo was always there to help him out. You don't need Debo to help you out anymore the same way you did. That's also why I think the Patriots or a team with a lesser quarterback and or a young quarterback would take Debo because that's what he can do. My buddy countered and said, I don't know if that's Debo or I don't know if that's Debo or if that's Shanahan, right? Maybe it's Shanahan and Debo's been held back in a way, but I think it is pretty much a consensus that Debo is not a technician when it comes to running routes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, Chris, but I disagree wholeheartedly on the fact that the Niners have outgrown Debo Samuel. If you wanted to say that to me a year ago, I would have agreed with you. Last season, he was so key to this team. He was so key to the San Francisco 49ers. In the playoffs, he brings the intensity. When he's dragging down like 5 dudes down the field for a 35-yard run, that hypes everyone goes nuts.
But I hear you, but how much longer is he going to do that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out, right? Like, that's how the NFL is. Like, you want to move on? You could move on from him. I agree with the point that he's great with a maybe more inexperienced quarterback. I think you're dead on with that. Because the run after catch, all that stuff, right? But what's wrong with having that weapon that I'd say elite run after catch, like tough guy?
But I'm not saying to get rid of him. I'm saying this just what it seems like to me.
It doesn't feel like that to me. I disagree just emotionally. Like emotionally, I think they have not outgrown Debo, and I think Debo is more in on the Niners than maybe he ever has been.
Nate, I have a question for you, because a lot of the trading Ayuk or Debo, especially yesterday, a lot of the reports were based off of they want a first-round pick back so that they could replace the guy.
Move to 10, I saw that.
Exactly, move all the way up into the top 10.
Yeah.
Diana Rossini put that out, I don't know, like 2 hours before the draft started. Now that the first round is obviously over, if they were to make that move today, would it be for a high second, or would they be okay with just taking that first next year?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, they have to assume their first round pick next year is going to be bottom 5.
Right.
So,
I guess, right.
You got to assume it's going to be late in the draft. My guess is it depends who they're trading with.
Sure.
If it's a team like Carolina,
right,
which they probably don't want to screw up their picks again.
Right.
I don't
or New England
see the trade happening for this year's draft for Debo or Ayuk,
because it would obviously have to be a second. Second would be the best that you can get in return,
unless you're getting like I can't think of a name right now, but like a solid offensive guard,
right,
or a great safety or something,
right?
But
player for player doesn't usually happen.
No, I mean it'd be player for player plus picks.
Pick, right,
that's what I'm saying. Like if so, I mean I'm not trying to be too much of a homer and be like, oh, we need a giant package for Debo Samuel, but I think it would have to be player plus like a fifth, and I don't know, next year's third, this year's third, or something like that.
Yeah.
When we return, we continue the conversation. Are the Niners addicted to drama as they draft a wide receiver and still have 2 stud wide receivers on their roster? We hear from CJ Stroud, what he had to say about the Ricky Pearsall pick. Also, Steve Smith Sr., Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to score big with the Sacktown Sports live event calendar. We're bringing you the hottest acts and the biggest concerts all season long. First off, on May 10th, it's a night of laughs as Pete Davidson takes the stage at Hard Rock Live. It's comedy gold and a night you won't want to miss. Visit hardrockhotelsacramento.com for tickets. And June 8th, Live Nation brings NF to the Golden One Center as he lights up the stage with his high-energy performance. Visit Live Nation or Ticketmaster.com to score your tickets today. But wait, the fun doesn't stop there. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, featuring legends like Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. It's a concert experience that'll rock your world. And looking ahead to August 22nd, get ready to kick up some dust with Creed Fisher at Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. Keep the adrenaline pumping, Sacramento. Visit sacktownsports.com for all the details and ticket information. The Sacktown Sports live events calendar, your ultimate guide to the hottest shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hi, it's Brian from Bennett's Restaurants. Springtime is a fun time. So to celebrate, we created a new menu of our favorites from Baja. Plenty of new food. Enjoy grilled skirt steak, wild prawns with pineapple, fresh sea bass, and a shrimp tostada with piles of shrimp. Or maybe our fresh empanadas stuffed with carnitas and cheese are more your speed. Enjoy our newest dessert, Kylie's Churros with a vanilla cream center. Visit Bennett'sRestaurants.com and come enjoy our new Baja menu today. Eat well, stay well.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the top tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the top tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
Meda Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MedaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends 4/30/24.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
We will be joined by Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fergoso at 11:30 from the 530. Bills need a wide receiver. We get their 33 and other pick for Debo and then get the best cornerback available. Is it Dijon or Dejean?
I don't know.
Tripping if I have
I'll know once.
Either way, they're going to take him.
Yeah.
Either way, they will probably
Dejean.
take him.
I do think it's Dejean.
There you go. There you go. He fits what the Niners are
Kool-Aid
trying
McKinstry
to do.
still available. As well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Probably
And
the name of the draft.
can we, real quick, as we bring up the Bills, what are they doing? What are the Bills doing?
Who cares?
I mean, well, like,
Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs.
Yeah, that part's not great that you give one of your direct competitors a good bite at the apple, but they did what I just said the Falcons should do. They get to move just a little bit further back, and they'll still take a receiver, but they get more bites at the apple. They get to take multiple second rounders now.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you don't miss, and all the percentages that we saw, that was based on first round, so we could see breakdowns.
Everybody loves
second
round picks. Second round picks are supposed to be where you really find the value because it's first round talent that you're paying second round money to. So.
Yeah, and there was a lot to be said from the Niners camp after the decision that they made to take a wide receiver in the first round. Does that mean that Ayuk is gone? Does that mean that Debo is gone? It flipped. And Mike Silver, he put out an article in the SF Chronicle, Debo's, and look, man, this is why when athletes get spicy and sometimes they take it out on fans, I understand, because if Debo's camp was told, hey, you're not going to be moved, and then they get moved, number one, there's going to be no love lost. And number two, that's why a lot of these guys, when it's time to get paid, I know Raider fans had some feelings about Josh Jacobs and things like that.
Right.
It's not that they don't like the fans, but hey, man, this is a business and they're going to move us whenever we feel like it. I know who was it? It's Saquon Barkley dealt with this with the Eagles and the Giants, how the Giants offered him slightly less, I believe, or maybe it was around the same, and he decides to go with the Eagles for whatever reason. People got to do what they got to do.
Sure.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like you said, it's a business, and you could definitely understand, like you were framing, like if Debo was told 3 days ago that essentially he's going to be on the team, he has nothing to worry about. Go ahead, live your life. You don't have to check your phone every 2 minutes and worry if you're the one being moved. And then all of a sudden he has to uproot his life and figure out a new everything. Like, you can understand why there might be some saltiness from Debo on the way out, like, or whoever, if it's Ayuk, if it's Debo, more so Debo, because of, like we said, he was just told he doesn't have anything to worry about, according to reports. You could definitely understand how Debo is probably, especially not even just considering that specific, but we know how the contract negotiations went. That wasn't a very pretty situation either. I definitely would expect there to be, I don't know, fireworks, but definitely some sparks on the way out for sure.
Yeah, we have a former player who may eventually, I was reading up on Steve Smith Sr. after I heard this take, and I do like his evaluations. They popped up on social media. We have sound from Steve Smith Sr. on Pearsall, and then we have CJ Stroud, who, I mean, when the guy talks, you pass on who you pass on. This is not for the Panthers to catch a stray here, but when you see CJ Stroud, how he looks, the way he talks, how did you pass on CJ Stroud? But we'll see what Bryce Young does. Let's hear from Steve Smith Sr. on what he had to say on Pearsall. This is before the draft, just him evaluating different receivers.
Stop calling him Ricky Pearsall and call him what his real name is. Slick Rick is what they call him. Great vision, stands out. He knows exactly where he needs to be. Played with 3 different quarterbacks with 3 different styles of play. Look at this. Oh, I'm about to drive on him. Got him. Whoopsies. Look at this quarterback. Every indication he might be playing for the other team. Look at this play. Runs a little fake screen. How do you think this is going to end up? Wow! Look at him pop up. Nice strong headache ball. Ooh. The one had that stanky leg. He got all the way down to the floor. Against South Carolina. My notes. Wow. That's all I'm going to say. Over the shoulder. Look at that. He's the go-to guy. His ability to adjust will be required in the services in the National Football League.
Steve Smith's the smartest analyst of all time. My favorite.
Oh, yeah. And future should be a Hall of Famer.
Ice up, son.
There you go. Well, he's watching highlights, right? And he's reacting to the highlights. And basically he's saying when he's talking about medicine balls and there's one where Pearsall gets rocked, he's basically saying he's done this with 3 quarterbacks who just weren't that good. Well, he would have played with Anthony Richardson, but besides that, haven't been outstanding, and he's still put up. He's done it in different systems with different types of quarterbacks. So that's what he's saying. Let's hear from C.J. Stroud. This was with the Bleacher Report crew, all breaking down the pick, and C.J. Stroud really wanted Pearsall on the Texans.
With the 31st pick, the Niners select. Wow, your guy.
Well, we probably was gonna get a receiver, but hey, shout out to Pearsall.
That was the first reaction I've seen you do that.
Good.
Damn. And that brings up a lot of questions about Debo and Brandon Ayuk as the Niners go Ricky Pearsall from Florida. Shocking in that that's the catch of the year right there, one-handed catch. He played with Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels for a season at Arizona State. He will be a 24-year-old rookie. He's kind of a slot guy. Nickname is Slick Rick. Over 2,400 yards in his career. Ricky Pearsall, the pick for the Niners.
How is he even on their radar? I'm happy for him, though, because he want to go in the first round and get more money. I talked to him a couple times, man. Congrats, bro. That's big time. Bro, he's elite. You'll see.
He gets
Especially
open.
in that offense, man. Kyle's going to dial it up for him. That's why I feel like he was going to fit in our system.
4-4-1 with a 1-4-9 10-yard split.
Oh, he's nasty, bro.
Well, if you give him a free release, he gets open.
I don't care if you press him. You put on the Missouri game, they press man a lot, bro. It's just that, like that, something like that.
Yeah.
Like Tank has it, like that. Just that little quick, little hezzy, like.
I literally wrote down rocker step. He has the same rocker step that Tank Dell has, where you go back, 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 and then he just shakes the guy to the top of the route. Amazing hands. I mean, the only question with him is play strength. Like sometimes when corners get their hands on him, it can disrupt his routes. He's not that big. 6'1", 189. But that's it, man. I mean, amazing route runner. High-end deep speed. Tracks the ball exceptionally well. 3.6% career drop rate. Like if his ball is catchable, he's catching it. So for San Francisco 49ers, this lends me to believe he's more like Ayuk than he is Debo. Like if we think they're trading one of them, and that's obviously been the rumor, he is more to fill the Brandon Ayuk role in that offense than he would the Debo Samuel role. But in that offense, he's getting open.
So I disagree with the end there simply because I just don't think they're moving off of Ayuk. I think all 3 of them are different, to be honest. I think if you're making me choose, maybe he's more similar to Ayuk because Debo is so just unique.
No, he's definitely way more closer to Ayuk than Debo.
Really? I thought he was, granted, this is just from a night of highlights.
Exactly.
But I saw a lot. I saw some Debo in him, just in the sense of not the physicality, which you could argue is what makes Debo, but just in terms of like gadget plays, it looked to me. I saw a couple, jet sweeps that they would run with him, which is absolutely something that they tried to do with Debo. Not even tried to do with Debo, and I don't know. I mean, some of the over the middle catches definitely gave me some Debo vibes, but you guys both clearly saw more Ayuk.
Ayuk does that too, though. Ayuk catches those in traffic a lot, and I don't know. I mean, the route running thing is what does it for me.
Right.
The route running, and
I heard
he's too small to be like 189 is small.
Yeah, they said the
light.
worry. The only worry here is the weight. It would not be the height per se.
He's definitely more of a traditional slot receiver in the size sense, in the route running sense. He's not just a Calvin Johnson, grab it, snatch it, Julio Jones, snatch it out of the air type guy. So,
No.
But his highlight.
No.
Well,
he did have that highlight. Yeah, ultimately, if Kyle is the offensive genius that everybody says that he is, any combination of those three receivers would work.
Sure.
Right? Whether it's Ayuk, Pearsall, whether it's Pearsall and Debo, but because of the other things that play here, with Debo being a bit older and his contract and things like that, and Ayuk's relationship with Brock Purdy, I don't think that I don't think that they would move Ayuk. I don't think they drafted him thinking that they're going to move Ayuk at all.
I before we go to break here, I want to just acknowledge CJ Stroud got me so much more hype for this guy just now. The way he reacted when he was drafted, I know you could only hear it, but you hear like the lav mic on him just rustle and stuff. He threw like his whole body back.
Right.
He was so excited. And then right after, you see him on his phone texting or sending out a tweet, whatever it was, just so hyped on this guy. Probably, I don't know if he's texting him or what.
Right.
But CJ Stroud, I mean, that makes you feel good as a fan, just to see that how much he wanted him. It was cool. It's cool to see.
No, and I also heard CJ compare his game a lot. You mentioned the route running, compared him a lot to Tank Dell.
Who CJ was. The story is that CJ talked with the organization about taking Tank Dell, which is why a lot of Niner fans were excited, because that kind of gave CJ more credibility in terms of his evaluation of wide receivers. All right, when we return, continuing the conversation, the Niners addicted to drama. We hear from Niners media on what they had to say. We also hear from Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, who are in an outstanding mood after the first round. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local. Live and local. This is Sacktown Sports.
Some of the stories, funny stories from the draft. Chop Robinson, who went to Miami, I believe. Nickname Pork Chop was given to him. I don't know if it was at birth, but they said he was 14 pounds as a baby. So Mama called him Pork Chop, and then when he thinned out a little bit, he said, "Just call me Chop." Chop Robinson.
You gotta have a really
it's
good.
It's a great name.
You gotta have a good swim move or something. Well, you got a name like Chop.
He said, "I'm gonna make the chop move my thing in the NFL." When he was at Penn State and he sacked anybody, he would do a chop.
Well, yeah, and he's also, when karate guys set up like 14 cinder blocks, and karate, he can do that.
He's been doing an axe chop though, but he could do both. He could do both for sure.
You have to.
Yeah, you gotta mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
get to the quarterback. Right. Let's get to the quarterback first.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Let's do that. Let's also hear from Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. You were very happy. And I got to say, I'm curious how Niner fans feel about this because it was a little bit too cheery, in my opinion. Here's what they have to say.
Brandon at Arizona State. Did you guys get his feedback at all?
Brandon just texted.
We got on the way in.
Yeah. Fire pick.
No lie.
Can't lie. So Herm, I talked to Herm though a lot. Herm and I are close, and I remember when he was a true freshman at A-State, he started telling me about this kid and how excited he was about him, and spent his time there, and then moved over to Florida, and even upped his game against as good a competition as you'll find in college football.
So Brandon Ayuk is in on it, former teammate.
Fire pick,
right?
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, I'm in trade rumors, but you guys just knocked this one out the park.
That's what's so funny about.
Should be free to trade me.
That's what's so funny about some of these ins and outs because they're in a group chat,
right?
And this is some of the awkward stuff you probably don't talk about. I'm sure there's a group chat with Kyle. Kyle probably has multiple with the different groups.
Yes.
So there's probably one with all the wide receivers. And Kyle,
there's
and
probably
I
one with
guarantee you, Debo
Ayuk,
just not responding.
Yes, absolutely. Big. That's definitely Debo. Debo's definitely the guy who just you never hear from him for like 5 months, and then he'll just randomly send something.
Well, Debo was last year sending those shirtless pictures.
That's
to
right.
Shanahan,
That's
if you
right.
guys,
I forgot
I'm
about
sure
that.
Brock's doing that this year.
Oh yeah. No, but just of his forearms.
Just his forearms. Dude, his forearms are
Dude,
crazy.
look at this.
Yeah.
From farming.
I don't know what it is, guys. It just feels like the Niners, they are just addicted to awkward situations. They are addicted to drama. Let's go ahead. All right. Seems like things are pretty cool, pretty stable. We could just pay Ayuk. You know what? Let's just draft a wide receiver and tick off Ayuk, who didn't feel like he got enough targets during the Super Bowl, and Debo's always on the verge of being ticked off or something. Let's draft a wide receiver. We don't know if we're going to move anybody.
Right.
We have no clue what we're going to do, and we also could have taken one of the best defensive players in the draft. I'm not saying that they did the wrong thing. I'm just saying I'm telling you, I guarantee you, Kyle Shanahan, he loves soap operas. He loves soap operas and he loves reality TV because the guy is obsessed with drama.
Yeah.
You finally got rid of the QB drama. Man, it was kind of quiet last season. Let's start some wide receiver drama.
Why not?
Why not?
You also had John Lynch at the end of 21 being like, I might quit. I might go into the booth to talk again.
I forgot about that. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is all like manufactured stuff, and it's really hard as a fan. It's so.
Why do they do
let's
that?
not forget about the Jed York pre-Super Bowl press conference too. The victory lap where he just randomly decided to hold his own press conference.
That's right.
A couple days before the Super Bowl.
Victory lap.
Insane.
That is right.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to talk to people real quick. Hey, so this is how we pulled this off.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually pretty amazing.
No. It's
in
pretty
case
awesome.
the story hasn't been told yet.
And then one time Kyle said, I think Brock's the best QB. And we whipped on, we whipped on Trey, but we don't have to talk about that now. We got the Super Bowl coming up.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to lose that again. And then after that, we're going to draft a wide receiver because our wide receiver, his partner was saying it might be their last time in Santa Clara. And we know there was only drama surrounding one wide receiver in Ayuk. So we're going to draft a wide receiver and now make their drama with all three of them.
Well, you like television just as much as I do. And they're at season 5 or 6 right now, this thing. And it starts to get a little bit stale, You're like, how many more seasons of this can they go? And you got to add hook, that bait that makes you say, all right, I'm excited for season 7.
Yep.
This is going to be great. And, in a weird way, it does feel like you're saying, it just feels like every year they have to have something that's going on. Whether it was the Bosa contract last year,
Debo the year before,
the quarterbacks.
The quarterback was going on while Debo was going on.
They figured it out in the middle of the preseason.
Overstaying their welcome, Jimmy Garoppolo. You should have left the
Jimmy
season
throwing
early.
on the side of the practice
Jimmy throwing
field.
on the side of the practice is the most insane thing I've ever.
Why do they feel the need to do this? Does any other team have this much drama?
No.
And I know no other good team.
Like this.
I know
not on the field.
Yeah, I know.
At least it's not like criminal stuff.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
That's
just unnecessary.
I'm happy it's not that.
Yes.
I'm happy it's not anything illegal.
I just think they love it.
Yes.
I just think they love it.
Yeah, I hate it. It's taking years off my life. Every Super Bowl loss is at least 5 years down the drain, and it's tough for me.
I just think they really enjoy just people talking about them. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it.
I definitely think that they have a knack for the spotlight for sure. I mean, and no matter
What's that
what,
like, Alan?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't know. All right. They have to move somebody. I don't see them going in with all three.
I think they
just
can. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's definitely a bit of writing on the wall.
You still have Jennings. You didn't want to let go of Jennings.
No. Well, but the problem is if you're going to move on from one of them, Pearsall has to be good.
He has to. He has to.
Because you can't legitimately out of one side of your mouth say we're trying to win Super Bowls, we're trying to maximize this window, and then on the other end say like, no, we're going to trade some of our best offensive weapons because we're trying to extend this thing out for as long as possible. It's one or the other. You can't. How many times have we talked about the war? These Bay Area people and their two timelines is driving me crazy.
Right.
Pick one.
They refuse.
You're either trying to win now or you're opting for the future.
Yeah, they refuse to do that. And what I don't get is it's the flip-flopping to me. And I understand that, hey, if your team takes someone, there was a lot of backlash that the Niners faced last night. A lot of fans were thinking, why do this unless Debo is now gone? You wake up in the morning, everybody sleeps, and I think it's funny to me. I saw one, and Nate'll get a kick out of this. I saw one Niners news entity, and they said, and he might make the Hall of Fame, don't get me wrong, but it's just funny how NFL legend Steve Smith Sr. gives his breakdown on Ricky Pearsall. So he's an NFL legend, and I'm not comparing careers here, but how much time did we have to talk about my friend Cam Newton, who is now a bum because he said that Brock Purdy was not a game changer?
Sure.
Because he said something you don't like. Now Cam's a bum, but now you have Steve Smith Sr. who should be in the Hall of Fame. And maybe he should be in the Hall of Fame, but it's just funny how everybody picks and chooses based on what they want to hear.
Objectively, too, that Steve Smith clip we played was not good analysis.
It was not at all.
It wasn't even after the draft.
It's just him going, my notes for this? Wow. And it's okay.
And that was everywhere last night.
I know.
That was everywhere last night. And look, don't get me wrong. It's not just the Niner fans that do it. I mean, we had, a shout out to the Falcons fan on the text line who was trying to talk themselves into the Michael Penix Jr.
said it actually about 5 times.
Pick, trying to be right. So we get all that. It's just funny that you have to do this as a fan, and you can't stick to what you want to stick to because ultimately that's the pick. So now, okay, I guess we'll have to alter how we feel and trust in the organization to make the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's just confirmation bias. It's people looking for something that they want to hear. And I'd say this because I was looking for it all yesterday. Every single mock draft that didn't have the Vikings taking Drake May, I'm like, I'm not looking at this. This guy's a bum. Doesn't make any sense. But the ones where the Vikings were taking Drake May, I'm like, these are the ones I'm going to put stock into. So everybody's going to look for the thing that makes them feel good about the way they already feel. I'm sure if Niner fans weren't happy with who they ended up taking, they would find some video of them getting killed. Like it's just always, you're always going to look for the content that helps self-serve what you're trying to the point you're trying to get across. So like you said, it's not just Niner fans, but it's something that's just annoying about all fans, but that's just how it is.
From the 209, Debo is worth a 4th round pick, maybe. Stop it, 209. Stop it. That is disrespectful. Come on now. All right, when we return, we will be joined by Emil Fergoso to talk Niners and also talk the NFL draft in general. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game-scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. Changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, UC Davis fans, Aggie football season tickets are available now. Whether you're coming out to see the dynamic, fast-paced offense under new head coach Tim Plow and All-American running back Land Larison, or bringing the kids out to roll down the grass hills and run on the field at halftime's more your speed, UC Davis Football Games has something for everyone. Secure your 6 Saturday games now with a season ticket package by calling the ticket office at 530-752-2471 or go online at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Ags!
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
As promised, we are joined by Emil Fregoso, Sacktown Sports 49ers insider. Emil, how you doing?
It's been an eventful 24 hours.
And we're not done.
No, two more days of this.
We are not done, not in the slightest, as we discuss all things Niners. But we are going to do that in the next segment. Let's go high level here with the NFL draft in general. Emil, I mean, there's some obvious picks here, but what were your initial thoughts from the first round?
Boring. Chaos. Just absolute chaos out of nowhere with Michael Penix to Atlanta. I mean, what are they doing?
Do you see the vision?
No, I don't. And I don't think Arthur Blank saw it either, because that video was pretty damning.
Yeah. People also said that Arthur Blank was in the room when Michael Penix Jr. was picked and he was excited. I didn't see that video, but Yeah, it was. You got to think if someone's doing that, Arthur Blank, he's not Jerry Jones, but he's somewhat.
He's a
you see him around.
I don't think that he must have known that was an option. You would have to think that he knew that was an option.
I mean, I'd hope so, but Kirk didn't know. So,
but Kirk's not the owner.
But Kirk's your starting quarterback, who you just paid $180 million to. You'd hope they'd give him a little heads up of like, hey, we might do this here. Nope. Yeah. And the quotes that came out from the agent are pretty bad too. So
pretty bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not a great situation at all. And I've been trying to logic it out and I can't figure it out to save my life. So if anybody has any sort of logic to it, I know we had a Falcons fan text in earlier. Still doesn't seem to make much sense to me. And when you think about the quarterbacks that went, it was 6 in the first 12 with Bo Nix going to Denver, which is, I would say, probably more surprising in my eyes than Penix going at 8, as crazy as that sounds. I don't think, we can get into that. I'm just curious, from your eyes, all those quarterbacks go, who do you think ended up in the best situation to succeed and who is in the worst situation? Just situation, not necessarily talking about the quarterbacks themselves, but just in their situations.
I think it's Drake May in New England.
In the worst or in the best?
In the best. I think the worst situation, I believe it probably is Michael Penix, just because of what he has to overcome to get over. But I think Drake May's in the best situation because there's no pressure whatsoever on him to start this season. They have Jacoby Brissett already there to be the staple to learn the offense. He might need a year or two, just like Josh Allen did, to learn the ropes, and then he can hand the keys over to him because he has all the talent in the world. It's just about making him more consistent in the NFL to be an NFL starting quarterback. So I think Drake May has the best situation, and I think that Michael Penix or potentially even Bo Nix has the worst.
What about best situation in terms of being successful? Because the Patriots, that's as far as the pressure, but the Jaden Daniels and he's got some weapons, and obviously Caleb Williams, who's in the best position to be successful on the field this coming season?
The toss-up. It's between Caleb Williams for me and JJ McCarthy.
Really?
Yes.
Why you sound surprised, Alan? Why you sound surprised?
Well,
by JJ McCarthy
because Jaden Daniels in Washington, they have some.
That's that's never been a good situation ever.
Scary Terry.
Until I see otherwise, it's always going to be a very hostile situation.
They got like 4 running backs every year.
They have good players. It's just their line was the most sacked line last year. Sam Howell was running for his life all year.
Now that you mention it, now they draft, and that's why I was kind of scared of Jaden Daniels, even though I would have taken him on the Raiders. A bad line and the cracks that he was taking in the SEC.
He's so slim for his size, 6'3", barely 200 pounds if it looks like. And a guy that's going to need to bulk up for sure, has all the talent in the world. But like you said, with the cracks, that guy gets hit a lot. And as long as he can move and jive and all that stuff, that's great. But that line needs to get better.
Yeah, it just reminds me, it's crazy how sometimes time is flat circle. It reminds me a lot of RG3 in the RG3 situation where he honestly might cook. Like he might win Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But can he have a long career with that team?
You know, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I obviously made this up in my mind. There was a part of me that thought they would not take him because of the history with RG3. I thought they would just go in a different direction because of that and that the shadow hanging over that organization.
I thought potentially too, but then when I did more research and looked into it, the J.J. Daniels pick made a lot of sense over Drake May, considering who was in charge there. Adam Peters, former 49ers executive. Who did the Niners like a few years back? Justin Fields. You can see Jaden Daniels being in the Justin Fields mold similarly in that aspect. They want a dual threat mobile quarterback that can do kind of all the things, and Jaden can. It's just, can you keep him upright?
Emil, I have to ask you, unfortunately, I would say maybe we've done our listeners a disservice by not talking enough about this Commanders Topgolf situation. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
Oh, my gosh, Emil. Oh, well, let me do the service.
I am out of the loop here.
So the Commanders, and you can definitely look into it. There's tons of stories, tons of tweets about it. The Commanders brought in, as everyone has their top 30 visits, the Commanders brought in 24 prospects to visit with them all at the same time. Usually there's one-on-ones. You call these people in and you have them in a classroom, whatever. You show them plays, all this stuff. The Commanders instead decided to bring 24 people in at the same time, 4 of which were quarterbacks. It was the top quarterbacks who weren't Caleb Williams. It was Drake May, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, and Michael Penix, maybe Bo Nix. All were invited. and they brought them out to Topgolf in almost a way of like trying to figure out, okay, are you hella competitive? Are you like, do you love to
like
win or hate to lose?
experiment.
A social experiment, exactly.
So they were speed dating.
In a way, but observing the speed dating from afar.
It's creepy.
As creepy, insane as like, but I guess to your point, the reason why I asked is because apparently the Niners did this. And this is like, Adam Peters picked this up from a time where he was with the Niners. And I guess they used to do this. I guess if this is the first time you're hearing of it, what are your thoughts on that being the process? And I guess eventually I should mention as well, the backlash of it was Jaden Daniels after it and was asked questions. That's when you start to hear, Jaden Daniels taking meetings with Minnesota. Jaden Daniels wasn't thrilled about how the Commanders meeting went. Drake May goes on, I believe it was Kevin Clark's podcast on ESPN, talks about when asked about the Commanders visit, said, it was great. I loved it. I love that kind of stuff. Awesome. A lot of rumors start swirling, all this stuff. My question is, what do you think about that process?
Yeah, so now that you're putting the pieces together, I did hear about the 4 quarterbacks. I heard that part of the rumor. I didn't know it was 24 prospects. That is overkill.
Yes.
But I know what they're doing there. They're trying to simulate an environment of a locker room in a certain way, of a group outing, of a team bonding experience. See which characters stand out, what leaders come out of it. And Drake May definitely has passed the test of flying colors. He is one of the leaders. Jaden is a little bit different. Jaden has a lot of history as someone who also covered him at Arizona State University. Same with Ricky Pearsall. Why I like Ricky Forks. We'll talk about him later. There was a whole thing. I don't know if you guys remember this. When Jaden left Arizona State
throwing
in the locker room thing.
Yeah.
We talk about the Bo Callahan thing in draft day about him not going to the birthday party.
That's right.
It's a real thing. That's a real thing, the leadership thing. So to see them kind of have a similar situation with that, with the players at Topgolf kind of makes sense. It's just not always the best look, especially when you kind of think you are taking the guy who wasn't thrilled with that situation.
Yeah. There's also a difference between doing that practice when you're the 49ers and you're picking at 29 versus number 2 pick.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Was that the same situation where Jaden Daniels thought it would only be him? Or
possibly.
Was
that definitely probably is the same.
There was something else where I know Jaden Daniels thought it was only going to be him.
Sure.
And then other people were there. Another reason I thought maybe the Commanders weren't going to take Jaden from the 5-3-0. I believe the Falcons can get out of Cousins' contract after 2 years.
Sure.
Maybe Penix was too good to pass up, so they adjusted that timeline. But you still don't know if Penix is good.
Or will be healthy.
Trade back.
Or will be healthy.
Trade back.
And it was a reach.
Yes,
he's 24 already. You're going to have a 26-year-old, 27-year-old's first-year starter.
He's going to be 35 when he takes his first snap.
There's also no quarterbacks that you would have liked these next 2 years. Why did it have to be now?
Dallas Turner is standing right there.
Oh, he's standing in Minnesota.
Yes, he is now. I can tell how happy you are. I was happy for you that happened, but Falcons malpractice again and again and again.
Terrible.
Bizarre. When we return, we get into the Niners specifically, and as Emil mentioned, very good insight on the newest 49er, Ricky Pearsall. We also have sound from Kyle and John Lynch and how giddy they were after the pick. Maybe too giddy, according to some Niner fans. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, the legend of Mason Miller keeps growing, and what a place to showcase his talents than Yankee Stadium. After the elbow injury last year, Miller has made the transition this year in a big way from starting to relieving. His 8 fastballs in the first game of the series averaged 102 miles an hour, including 102.5 to strike out Aaron Judge to end the game.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Hi, it's Brian from Bennett's Restaurants. Springtime is a fun time, so to celebrate, we created a new menu of our favorites from Baja. Plenty of new food. Enjoy grilled skirt steak, wild prawns with pineapple, fresh sea bass, and Sonoran beef enchiladas, to mention a few. Try our empanadas stuffed with carnitas and cheese. Love shrimp? Try the new shrimp tostada. We make great guacamole and salsa too. Enjoy our newest dessert, Kylie's Churros, with a vanilla cream center. Visit Bennett'sRestaurants.com and come enjoy the new Baja menu today. Eat well, stay well.
Feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
From the 707, I think the Atlanta Falcons are traumatized by years of bummy quarterbacks.
They had an MVP.
So they are just going full throttle to find themselves one.
Desmond Ridder might have been my least favorite quarterback to watch last year.
You mean Tyler?
Can I say
Heineke?
something?
No,
Can I say something?
I like Tyler Heineke. He's exciting at least.
I may or may not have deep down in my soul thought maybe. I mean, could Desmond Ridder figure it out?
Oh,
could he figure it out? But I was out quickly.
Terrible.
He's in Arizona now. Who knows?
Really?
Yeah, he's the
Nate
Cardinals.
shaking his head. There was somewhere deep down Nate thought maybe this is the guy.
I don't.
Maybe this is the guy.
I'm not joking. I felt like for a little bit Atlanta was a light 49ers.
By the way,
Like a diet Niners.
By
love
the way, this is a great lead in. This is a great lead in here. 1:15. We are doing our mock draft of different things. Here are some of the categories. Simone should be showing up for this as well. Mock draft. Draft a Kings player. You can draft any Kings player. Okay. Another subject we have. Draft your favorite Sacramento restaurant. Christopher Lott's still here. We know what his is. This is what brings me to what we were discussing. Draft your favorite bust. Someone you thought was going to be a baller, but didn't end up being a baller. And draft your favorite game day food.
Can this be NBA as well?
Anybody.
Okay. Because this is going to be wild with the Kings.
It's going to be hilarious. That is at 1:15 as we are joined again by Emil Fregoso. So, Emil, I want to play this audio for you before we get into breaking down Ricky Pearsall, who you covered at Arizona State, which is why we're having you on. One of the reasons we're having you on, that's great stuff, which I also – you connected the dots for us during the break. I cannot lie. Let's hear what just kind of a fun time that the guys are having during the draft kind of presser.
Running back in the fourth round, Kyle, is that a lock?
Third round.
Third round.
That's our spot.
That's your spot. Third, fourth round.
We're gonna get a running back in the third. Probably won't work out. We're gonna find a Kittle in the fifth, a Green on the fifth.
Are you gonna be able to get a tight end in the fifth?
Just trade everything to the fifth.
Yeah,
we get a second running back in the sixth. That one will be the real one.
And then we'll, of course, wait till that last pick.
Yeah, and that's when we really.
How was it to draft in the first round? You actually wore a suit today. I was impressed.
We always do this in the first round. It's just been 3 years.
Just a good old
promo.
I mean, have they done? I know they've been to 2 Super Bowls and everything is relative, but if you're a Niners fan listening to this, am I a joke to you? What? Are we serious here?
I haven't seen Kyle that happy since they won the NFC Championship game. Honestly,
I mean, it was. Am I tripping here? What you hear that, Emil? You hear that? What do you think?
Debo weather. Look. They're having giggles about this stuff, right? Because obviously there's all these narratives and stuff, and they have 9 more picks, and they could end up trading some of those picks and moving up in the draft for certain players. I don't think they're gonna follow suit with taking a running back at this spot or a tight end at this spot. They're kind of filled on other things there. They could if we didn't think they're taking a wide receiver this early.
Yeah.
So there was that. But look, it's just all fun and giggles, and I don't know if you guys saw the other clip where I think it was Kyle showed John while he was talking during that KBR segment.
We played that one.
And they had a little smile on their face. I'm pretty sure that was BA texting them saying something. I think he's very happy about Ricky Pearsall being on that team.
Yes. Before we get Emil's breakdown of Ricky Pearsall, what you have anything on that, Chris?
I mean, it's definitely interesting to me that they're joking about, all of their previous draft mistakes. But, at the same time, when you are successful and when you're able to plow through those things, you can joke about it because ultimately it is. I mean, the draft is kind of a joke of a process.
Yeah.
We make these big, huge proclamations about all these guys. And to their point, literally their last pick was their best pick. So, it's just. It's fine. You can do it when you're winning. When you're not winning, yes. When you mess up draft picks year after year and it doesn't lead to success, sure, definitely don't laugh about how bad you've been. But when it hasn't ultimately mattered, I think it's fine to joke around and say, we're going to take a running back in the third round. Whoa, what a zany mistake that always is.
Those are 2 guys that have ultimate job security right now from January. They keep getting extensions.
Exactly what
they keep getting extensions.
Right.
So, they're just hanging out, having a great time.
Fair enough. All right, Emil, as you mentioned, Ricky Pearsall covered him at ASU before he headed to Gatorville in the SEC.
Gainesville.
Yes, that's
in the
correct.
Swamp.
What are your thoughts on the player? Because these are 2 separate things.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the player and what are your thoughts on the pick?
Awesome player. Awesome player. I'm a very big fan of Ricky Pearsall. He's a do-it-all kind of guy, just like Kyle talked about last night. Great route running, great hands. Only has 2 drops in his college career with the Gators.
Wow.
It's just a guy who's sure-handed. He's a willing blocker at 6'1". Yes, he's a little bit slight in frame, but he has I saw the comp, Julian Edelman vibes to me.
Mm-hmm. I saw that too.
I think that's a really good comp for him and something that they actually need. The Niners need a nice slot guy that can complement Ayuk and Debo well if they do end up keeping both those guys. And who knows what's going to happen here. But I think getting the guy that they like and they wanted, yes, it might be a little bit higher, but getting the guy they want that could be a surefire impact guy day one, because he's not going to be in the doghouse day one. I think he's going to 100% be a part of this team, whether it's on special teams as a punt returner or in the offense as a third option initially. He's going to be an impact guy for them right away. And he's He's got moxie, swagger, poise. This guy just kind of oozes Niner royalty with these wideouts.
What you just said there, I feel like a natural next question would be, I mean, you definitely said it in your answer, and we just talked about this right before you came on. If this is a symbol of, okay, we're willing to move on from one of our receivers, who do you think Pearsall falls more into the category of a Debo? Like, essentially, with this pick, who becomes more replaceable between Debo and Ayuk? In your opinion?
I've always thought it's Debo. I've always thought that they wanted to keep Ayuk long term, and Debo was kind of on the way out. I've been saying this for weeks and months. I think this is Debo's last season on the 49ers. I think because of the contract, they gave him a 3-year, $72 million deal. He's going into the biggest year of his cap hit this year. Next year, there is an out in his deal after that. And let's face it, Niners have a couple cap issues going forward. They got to pay Brock Purdy at some point. They got to play Tano Afunga, Diamador Lenorich. Ferris Ward wants a new deal.
Right.
There's plenty of other guys that have to get new money. So something has to give. We saw earlier with Eric Armstead how much dead cap they're willing to eat this year. If they trade Debo, that's $20 million in dead cap this year. However, it resets the market next year. It resets their entire salary cap next year. It's an extra $22 million next year. So potentially, and this is what they're weighing today, going into round 2, because if they are going to move Debo, it would be today, and it'd be for one of the high picks in the second round, a 30 or 40 range kind of pick, an extra second is what they're looking for Debo. If they can get the right player, they're not going to trade Debo just to trade him because we have to save some money. They want to make a run this year, but they also have to think financially about after this season. So that's where it really plays for them. BA is going to stay long-term, I think, and I think Debo's the one that could be saying bye either today or after next season.
So you believe that if they were to trade one of Debo or Ayuk, it would be for a second-round pick, not for a first next year? Because the rumors were that they were looking initially for a first to trade this year to possibly replace them, but you're saying that you believe if they were to trade Debo or Ayuk today, it would be for a pick today.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. I believe that in terms of the first round rumors, that was all involving Ayuk. The Niners are not going to part with Ayuk for less than a first round pick.
Right.
Debo Samuel is older, more injury prone, and just overall
Already on the contract as well.
Already on the contract as well. That can warrant a second round pick, potentially even a third round pick. Potentially they could get a second and a third for Debo. That's probably what they want.
That you said exactly what I was going to say, Emil. I think that with the first round ending, Ayuk is now safe.
Correct.
I think they would be willing to take a second and whatever else for Debo. They were not willing to do that for Ayuk for the reasons Emil just so eloquently put out. Before we get you out of here, Emil, thank you for stopping by on a Friday. You know I'm going to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Bowers, Raiders. What do you think? Napa's finest.
I was thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
A lot of Raider fans weren't happy.
No, because it's not a positional need. Because you draft Michael Meyer last year, who's a solid tight end. But when it comes down to the Raiders and all the stupid picks over the years, I mean, respectfully, Cleveland Farrell, I covered you last year, but it was a reach when they took him at number 4 in 2019. This is a blue chip talent that's going to be potentially the next George Kittle in the NFL. That's how talented this guy could be. Honestly, Brock Bowers is a very talented player.
He's the number 2 talent. I mean, outside of the quarterbacks, like it's Marvin Harrison, and then people would put Brock Bowers as number 2.
Correct. This guy is a for sure can't miss unless he gets, knock on wood, hurt. This guy is going to be an impact player right away. And if you have a young rookie quarterback like Aiden O'Connell, it's good to surround him with talent. And guess what? If you suck anyway because of the quarterback play, you have a higher draft pick. Guess who's coming up next year? Shedeur Sanders.
And I think Prime said he would allow him to go to Vegas.
That's all I'm saying.
He was on.
You guys are giving up on the Spencer Rattler train already.
I'm never giving up on the
Come
Spencer Rattler train. Emil Fergoso, thank you so much. We will have you on again very soon, maybe towards the end of the draft, maybe next week, something like that. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much, Emil. We will talk to you soon. Be sure to check out Emil on social media. Great stuff always.
What are you doing
Also,
this weekend for the recaps? Like, are you posting daily on?
Oh
on the
yeah,
website?
every single pick that they take. Hopefully it's not all 10 because that takes forever. Because the last year was 11. It just kept happening too. It was 7s. Every single pick we'll get a breakout, as well as initially at the end on Sunday we'll have a breakout kind of just of all the picks and just kind of overall thoughts from Kyle and John and stuff. Nothing too crazy. Just working into the weekend.
There you go. And where else are you going to get insight from someone who covered Ricky Pearsall in college as well? Man. SacktownSports.com. That's where you can find Emil's work, and you can follow him on social media. Emil Fragoso, thank you so much. We will be right back with more Niners talk, starting to switch over to some NBA and Kings. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
2 young fathers are shot to death outside an iconic Utah restaurant.
I said, your dad has been hurt really bad.
The grief was disorienting for those left behind until one choice changed everything.
I just remember writing this letter, and it wasn't me writing it.
Can a personal decision shape generations?
We're all falling for this guy's trick.
I'm Amy Donaldson. Season 2 of The Letter, Ripple Effect, is available now. Follow us at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You've been waiting all winter for the snow to melt and the golf course to awaken. It's time for your long-awaited spring golf getaway to Plumas Pines Golf Resort in beautiful Gray Eagle, California. The timing is perfect to take advantage of Plumas Pines Spring Special. You can walk the course for $75 or ride for $90, available 7 days a week through May 23rd. Beneath towering pines adjacent to the Feather River, Plumas Pines Golf Resort offers a spectacular round of mountain golf. You'll love the grandeur of the Sierra, the calmness of Gray Eagle, and the wonderful test of golf at Plumas Pines with spring special rates of $75 to walk and $90 to ride 7 days a week until May 23rd. Make your reservation at PlumasPinesGolf.com. Whether you visit for the day or stay a few days, Plumas Pines Golf Resort will make your play memorable. Visit PlumasPinesGolf.com and make your tee time reservations for the spring special rates available 7 days a week. That's PlumasPinesGolf.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
We are very excited to be celebrating 75 years in business. And what better way to celebrate than helping you get the hard-to-find heavy-duty Ram you've been looking for less? Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cabs. And with California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks, you're sure to find the truck you need.
75 years. That's incredible, dude.
It all started with my grandpa and great-grandpa's dream, and it's grown over the years to where we've had a chance to serve tens of thousands of customers and show them there's something special about Hoblet you just can't get at those big city auto mall dealerships.
Come experience the difference at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,000 total net savings after 4,000 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 5 with this discount. See dealer for details.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Nothing tastes better than a craft beer on a beautiful afternoon. Sunrise Marketplace is transforming the Sunrise Mall parking lot into a backyard hangout on May 18th, featuring the best craft breweries, home brewers, cideries, meaderies, and distilleries, plus food trucks, backyard games, and one of the best events happening this year. Tickets are on sale now at shopsmp.com. Use discount code BREW24 for $5 off general admission. Every ticket helps support Citrus Heights Heart and Citrus Heights Rotary.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Going to start our transition over to NBA, but, got to surprise Chris, as we like to do on this show, and give him some time to talk Vikings and his thoughts, because it connects to everything, really, as far as what the Niners ended up doing, what the Raiders ended up doing. But first, let's get to Dale, who's been patiently waiting over the line. Thanks again to Emilio Fergoso, of course. Let's get to Dale, 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. What's up, Dale? What you got for us?
Oh, thanks for taking my call, guys. I love your show.
Thank you.
You make my drive every day way, way more enjoyable.
Appreciate that, Dale.
Thank you, Dale. Right on, right? Okay, so now you mentioned that we're in transition. I was going to just make a comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since we're in transition between NFL and NBA, I just have to touch on NBA as well.
Sure.
Beautiful. Okay, right. So my first comment was, I just had like this weird premonition. Okay, I'm a big fantasy sports player, so I draft all these teams and I play DFS and I do all this crazy stuff. And Brandon Ayuk is going to end up in Kansas City. I'm telling you right now. I think that, and this might be ignorant on my part because I don't know all the salary cap issues that come into play with that, but I think Patrick Mahomes would adjust his contract, renegotiate his contract to bring in a guy like Brandon Ayuk. And I think that the 49ers are way more willing to let him go than pay him what he deserves to be paid. All right. So then my last thing, Kings, I'll make it quick. Okay. I think the best thing to happen to the Kings this year was to miss the playoffs because Monty McNair almost dodged a bullet by then almost getting into the playoffs through the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
But no, not now. You can't run it back again. And I'll take, you know what? Thank you for taking my call. And I'll listen to what your comments on off the air. Okay.
Appreciate it, Dale.
Thanks for the call, Dale. Yeah. The Monty McNair thing, I feel like we've kind of gone over the Warrior, any team that missed the playoffs. I think that we're on the verge and, should we run it back or not? A lot of fans would say, basically the argument is you're not going to win the whole thing. So let's quit the facade and just lose and hit the reset button. So agree with you there, Dale. As far as the Brandon Ayuk thing is concerned, if I'm not mistaken, Brandon Ayuk is still under contract.
Yes.
For this season.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they can just say, we're not paying you, and then he walks. Maybe Dale meant maybe not this season specifically.
Or maybe trading.
But we just talked to Emil Fergoso during the break, and I said, We've been talking more about Debo now. Hey, where are the places that the Niners would not send Debo? So you can put Ayuk into the same category. First word, I think, was either the Chiefs or the Cowboys. Those are the first two. And then after that, it was the Lions and the divisional opponents, and then any NFC. The only AFC team I think that they would not trade Brandon Ayuk to would be the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs also the Chiefs also got Hollywood Brown this offseason, and then they just drafted Xavier Worthy.
Exactly.
That's not to say they wouldn't welcome Brandon Ayuk with open arms. I find it very hard if we're talking about this season and a trade is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're talking about if Brandon Ayuk became a free agent, sure. But there is no way on this green earth that the Niners would trade Ayuk to that team.
Right.
That's the only AFC team that they would not trade him to.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I just think it's from Dale's perspective of like definitely for fantasy football, it would be incredible. Like if you drop a guy like Ayuk in the Chiefs system, I mean that's definitely a guy that everybody wants, right?
Yeah.
Like he's going to probably be one of the leading receivers in the NFL in terms of yards, in terms of everything. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes running deep balls would be ridiculous. But yeah, everything you just said is definitely true. I think if the Chiefs were going to do that, they probably would have done it yesterday. And like you said, instead of moving up and taking Xavier Worthy, they probably would have just maneuvered to make that move with the Niners directly and got Ayuk instead of getting the rookie. So I kind of think that ship has sailed. And onto the Monty thing, it's definitely something that we've talked about before. Definitely, I would say in a weird way, not making the playoffs, you can say a blessing in disguise because like you said, I mean, you're not going to run it. There's no way you can run it back after missing the playoffs. There's no way you can say, yeah, sign me up for actually another year of that. It kind of forces your hand into saying, okay, we cannot afford to have another bad season or even risk it potentially falling, the floor falling out from under us like it kind of did this year. It almost forces you to say, okay, we have to make a big move in order to make sure that what happened last year doesn't happen again, and job security as well. You want to make sure that, if you have 2 bad years in a row, somebody's probably getting fired. If you have a bounce back year, you kind of buy yourself some time, of course.
Right, and we are quickly approaching the bounce back year. From the 9-1-6, the Chiefs let go of Tyreek Hill because they didn't want to pay him.
It's a good point.
Why would they want to pay now? It's a good point.
I don't think it's as much as Tyreek would have wanted. But
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Tyreek definitely got the bag. All right, Chris, floor is yours. Your initial thoughts. Take us through where you were at, your thought process. Emil said you went dark on social media during that time, and you hear the words J.J. McCarthy, and now you are grinding film just like Caleb Williams. You woke up at 6 a.m. to watch film. You went to bed at 3 a.m., then woke up at 6 to grind more film. How were you initially feeling?
Yeah.
And then you slept on it. How are you feeling now about J.J. McCarthy going to Minnesota?
Yeah, so as we exited the show yesterday, I said, do what you can, move up to number 3, get Drake May. That's the guy that the Vikings had diagnosed as their guy that Kevin O'Connell thought would be the quarterback that he wanted to take this team into the future. Ultimately, I could be upset about them not doing it, but at the end of the day, the Patriots clearly weren't going to move on from that pick, so there's not really much you could do. I'm sure maybe in Minnesota right now they have callers saying, "Oh, I can't believe Kwesi didn't do everything. What's another first-round pick?" I don't think any of that mattered. I don't think the Patriots were taking any phone calls seriously, and you would have probably had to throw something completely ridiculous at them in order for it to happen. So initially, as the 3rd pick goes on, doesn't seem like the Vikings are going to trade up. The Patriots make the Drake May selection. I can't lie, I was incredibly disappointed. After you kind of build up all of this hype for somebody, for it to just kind of end up being for nothing, definitely sucked to go through for a bit. But, it then kind of turns into, I have to view Kwesi's draft as what it is. I mean, he didn't give up. It wasn't hey, this is our only move and there's no pivot from that. Clearly they had other options that they had looked at, and I think ultimately you get J.J. McCarthy for not giving up much. I know they moved up 1 spot in order to get him, but ultimately you didn't risk much. I know they got rid of some future 2nd and 3rd round picks, but you get a guy who's got some traits for sure. Everyone's going to point out the winning and the lack of turning the ball over and all the Brock Purdy stuff and, Tom Brady comparisons, all that stuff that makes sense. The pick happens. I'm not super excited about it. I ended up watching, there's a shout out YouTube, which is just fantastic. Apparently John Lynch is also a big YouTube watcher. But I watched a YouTube compilation last night, every run and throw J.J. McCarthy made in the 2023 season. And I'm not going to say.
How long was that?
It's a 43-minute video, and I'm 30 minutes in. I think I've gotten through the first 8.5 games of J.J. McCarthy's season. And I would just say I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I was expecting, because the narrative around him is I'll use one of your words, he's a handoff merchant, right? Like he's just pounding the rock every time. Oh, got a great, one of the best play action guys you'll see. And that's what I was expecting to see, is just a lot of dump offs, a lot of throwing it to the line of scrimmage. I was shocked to find the amount of down the field throws, the amount of zip that he has on his ball. And there's a lot of throws where, especially in college, the reason why I hate watching college quarterbacks is because you'll be told random stray here, but like a guy like Bo Nix, you're told, oh, he's such a great quarterback, all this stuff. You watch him throw, and there's a lot of ducks. There's a lot of air underneath those balls. J.J. McCarthy zips that thing, and it was something I was really pleasantly surprised. And just a lot of really well-timed throws and just not a lot of incompletions either. Like it was again, the video I watched was not just highlights. It was not just
every
completions.
throw.
It was every throw, good and bad, just not a lot of incompletions. And to me, it's about Kevin O'Connell now. Like, he's got his quarterback. It was Kwesi's job to get the quarterback in the building. He did that. It's now on Kevin O'Connell to figure out, look, if this guy's okay, you got to make it work, because, again, Brock Purdy has set the model. The Vikings have the talent. You got Aaron Jones in your backfield. You got Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL. Jordan Addison, who's definitely coming up. TJ Hawkinson, who's a top 5 receiving tight end in the NFL. And I said it yesterday, you have 2 tackles, Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, who are, they're, again, top 5 at their position. You have enough to make it work. It's just about making it work. You just got to get. It's the same thing as Brock Purdy. Just get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them do the rest. It's as good of a situation as a rookie can walk into. And if he's bad, he's bad. That's the good of the Vikings not having to go up and make that Godfather offer for Drake May. If they're bad this year and J.J. McCarthy ends up being a bust or looking like a bust, you do what the Cardinals did. You take Josh Rosen. Doesn't work out, you get a high pick next year and you take Kyler Murray. So ultimately, it's a risk. I don't think it's the guy that the Vikings ultimately super wanted, but it's somebody that they're willing to make it work with. And after watching the tape, I think he can make it work. It's just a matter of how high his ceiling is really what I'm seeing a lot of people have concerns about. It's not really the guy he is now. It's how much more meat is really left on the bone. I'm not sure the Vikings need a lot more meat left.
6 quarterbacks were taken last night.
Yep.
We know the numbers. We've been saying them ad nauseum. 46% of QBs drafted up until 2019 signed that second deal. That's about 50%. So 6 quarterbacks taken. Based on this, 3 of them will be franchise guys. 3 of them will not. Does Chris have a franchise guy?
That's my point, is it doesn't have to be a franchise guy. I don't think that's where I got upset, is they didn't go get that franchise prototype guy in the Drake May, like the 6'4", big body, got the legacy family.
They think it's a franchise
all
guy,
that stuff. I think they're hoping he's a franchise guy, but like JJ is somebody who's going to be like Kirk Cousins, where I don't think he's going to elevate above the team. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Joe Burrow even. But he's somebody who still, just because you're not a top 3 doesn't mean you're a bad quarterback. It's just, they got a guy who can play quarterback for them. It's a position at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be a super mega star at that position if you have other good talent. So ultimately, they didn't get a guy that you have and you don't have to worry about all those other pieces. They got a guy that just plays a position on the football field that hopefully can do his job.
There you go. And hopefully he can do his job. When we return, getting into some basketball, Jokic has some insightful words on how to build up a contender and how that connects back to the Sacramento Kings, also breaking down all the action in the NBA and bringing it back to some Beam Team. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorta's over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee packed-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Jokic and the Lakers. Two things. It's like oil and water if you're the Lakers. I'm going to tell you this much, Chris. I still can't believe, I cannot believe the Lakers are on the verge of getting swept.
Why not? It happened last year.
That's why. And AD from literally as soon as it happened, you had AD saying, "Oh yeah, we have something for them." And honestly, LeBron didn't say too much.
Oh, no, he did. Last year, he said a lot. That's where I Am the Sun came from, because him and Mike Malone were going back and forth.
But as far as we're going to get them next year, I don't know if LeBron ever ventured into that, because I don't think he thought.
He said a lot of, keep talking now.
Right.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, so, LeBron. Yeah, so this is from Sam Amick. LeBron going at Malone on Instagram.
Yes.
AD talking at camp. This blank ain't over. That was from Darvin Ham. And Sam Amick goes on to say, newsflash, this blank is over.
Sam is the best. I can't
It's
wait
crazy.
You know LeBron read that too.
How does that happen?
It's hilarious. Because the Nuggets are great, man. Like, that's the thing is they cannot stop Nikola Jokic, and at the end of the day, like, I do think a bit of this too is people sleep on Mike Malone. Like, when we looked at that player survey, I don't remember Michael Malone being on that list, period.
Right.
Which is insane to me. So, like, I mean, when you think about the fact the Nuggets have a better coach, they have a better big man, and they just, I think they play better as a team. I think they have better, a better team structure around them. To me, it makes tons of sense. I mean, this is exactly what we saw last year. Braun and AD aren't enough. They don't have the defensive fortitude, definitely, to keep other guys besides Jokic. I mean, yeah, you've got AD to put on Jokic, but how are they going to stop Jamal Murray when you have one of the worst defensive guards in D'Angelo Russell? That's why they brought in Gabe Vincent
last night, by the way.
Terrible.
0 points.
And did you see that video of him sitting on the side of the huddle?
he was eating trail mix.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, is he eating? Is he like clipping his nails like Mike Bibby? What's going on?
He was eating trail mix, and before that game, he said, I think he was on Sirius NBA, and he said something to the effect of, if you look, I've been doing it all season long, and he talked about the first game, how he didn't play well. And then he says, and then you see what I did in the second game, and I plan to do it in game 3.
I'm not calling him D-Lo. I'm calling him D-Lou now, because he's delusional. It's insane, bro. This guy thinks he is like a top 5. He legit thinks he's like Kyrie Irving. I swear on everything.
Yes.
D'Angelo Russell thinks he's at the tier of Kyrie.
And I have to talk about this. So this is bad news for Kings fans, I got to say. This is bad news for Kings fans. And this is real, by the way. This is from Bovada. These are the team odds. The team odds for D'Angelo Russell for next season. Shortest odds, Atlanta Hawks. So just go in order.
Oh, that's interesting.
Atlanta Hawks, Charlotte Hornets, Los Angeles Lakers, Chicago Bulls, Los Angeles Clippers, Portland Trailblazers, Washington Wizards, the Utah Jazz, any European team. That's
insane.
Any European team.
That's insane.
The Guangdong Southern Tigers.
Shut the hell up. There's
That's
no
plus
way.
3,000.
There's no way. Dude. Got this man going to China.
Let's go. Guangdong Southern Tigers.
And it's also, the fact that it's a specific.
Yeah,
And
it's not any Chinese team.
Any European team
Yeah,
that's specifically
There's
this
more.
Chinese
At plus 3,000, the Guangdong Southern Tigers. At plus 5,000, the Taiwan Beer Leopards.
Nice.
At plus
They're raw.
At plus 8,000, the Mets de Guanabo.
Are they Chinese?
No, I think the
has
Mets
to
are
be-
Wemby's team. I think that's Wemby's team from last year.
This
if
is
I'm
true.
Not mistaken.
And this is bad news for the Kings because I don't see the Spurs. I don't see the Magic. I don't
He's
see
more
the
likely
Sixers.
to go to China than the Orlando Magic next year. Okay,
I love put up a stinker and you going to China.
this is where it is the opposite. Like, this is where the Laker fans are great. This is where them turning on their own players it's the best, man. They're so good at just making you feel like, oh my God, we have a super team. We have the best team in the universe. And then the second things go wrong, it just
You gotta
goes
go.
to trash.
You gotta
and this is
go.
why nobody wants to play there, man.
It's
honestly.
insane.
Because it's always their fault.
I can't believe
Oh
that.
my
and
gosh.
I was wrong about the Lakers being a little bit better than they thought. Or I was just ultimately wrong about the Nuggets. And the Nuggets, I didn't see a dynasty brewing, and we can discuss the definition of a dynasty.
Sure.
But as far as a back-to-back, I didn't see it, and I was completely wrong. Completely wrong. Maybe it's because they weren't really whole for a lot of the season. Jamal Murray is definitely healthy now, and he's rocking and rolling. But yeah, they're a buzzsaw. And with the Celtics now having some trouble, the Celtics are a weird one where I don't know who I'll pick if it ends up being Celtics and Nuggets, even if the Heat give them a hard time, because it might just be a styles make fights things and a mental thing where the Heat are just always going to give the Celtics a hard time. We'll have to see how the Celtics get there, if they get there. But if it's not the Celtics, I mean, I think the Nuggets going back to
I think
back.
it's cooked. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a Western Conference because OKC hasn't quite looked like their top level.
Yeah, the Timberwolves, sure.
Timberwolves maybe can give them trouble just because they have two bigs or three bigs, I guess, and six man of the year Nas Reed. Let me not disrespect.
That's right. Can you stop? I think the thing about the T-Wolves is, can the Nuggets stop? And I know we had Timberwolves writers on this show who said that the offense is the problem.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like the Timberwolves, that's it. That's it.
I
It's
think
the Timberwolves or no one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They have the bigs. They have the other, like, if there's a star that's to the level of Jokic, as crazy as it sounds, I do think Anthony Edwards could get to that level this postseason to maybe, to cancel that out essentially. And then it's a matter of Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert. But I would agree that they probably are the team that's most suited to give the Nuggets trouble, because everyone else right now, I mean, Dallas and the Clippers, they both look about the same. They both look like if their stars are on that day, you could be in for a long night. But if the others are missing, then they probably don't stand a chance. So I definitely would agree. Nuggets 1, Timberwolves 2, and then it to me, it is kind of a mismatch of everybody else, really. I think you could put OKC in there. You could put Dallas even in there on the best given day.
Clippers, if
it's
they
crazy.
figure it out.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And shout out our guy Frankie. Let me shout out Frankie. I saw him tweet something very, very interesting tying into the Kings as well. Frankie put out here, the Sacramento Kings were in the mix for the 6 through 8 spot in the West during the final weeks of the regular season. So far, the 6 through 8 seeds in this postseason hold an 0-7 record in the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you are who you are, and every season is different. Last season, records. The thing about the Lakers, where they made that move, they made all those moves at the trade deadline.
They were a different team.
This season, there was a clear there was a clear line throughout
line
the
of separation
season,
for sure.
and that line has stayed true so far. A lot of these teams still need to go to their hometowns, but it did not help the Lakers in La La Land last night. Let's hear from Jokic when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Jokic was asked, Chris, it's called I don't know if it's the term that they use or if it's just a term in general, the read and react offense, or that's just how they refer to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like how the Kings run their offense. Actually, it's in the title. You read the defense, and you just kind of counter based off of how their defense is set up. And really, it's kind of a flow. It's just a different way of saying a flow offense, kind of like what the Kings have.
And when you face the Lakers, who don't really play defense, there's not really much to read and
That's right.
react to, apparently.
That's
all right.
They have a bunch of counters that they haven't even gone to, right? According
He
to Michael
actually
Malone.
said that.
Insane.
He said that.
Which is a direct shot at Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
It's
And honestly, so I'm sitting there with my better half when we're watching TNT. And this was the first time she had heard. A lot of times I don't really listen to the press conference if it's not the Kings or whoever. And we're just listening to Darvin Ham. And it was actually the way Laker fans make fun of Darvin Ham. I mean, he really does. He's talking about, he's just saying
so much fuel.
But what was crazy was some of the stuff he said we've heard before. He was saying,
right.
I mean, we put people in spots and it's a make or miss league. They missed open shots.
Mm-hmm. We've heard it before.
We've heard it before. And he's saying that, and he said,
I'm sure it's not all his fault. Yeah.
And he said it's tough, probably about 7 times. And it's just tough, man. It's tough.
I mean, I will say in his defense, like, what a nightmare it must be to coach LeBron teams.
Yeah.
I think every coach would definitely say that it is not an enjoyable experience. You would think it's great to coach one of the best players of all time, but with great power comes great responsibility. And when you have LeBron as your coach, it's championship or bust. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a 7 seed. It doesn't matter if you're an 8 seed. It doesn't matter if you made the play-in. It doesn't matter if you're a 2 seed. You have to win the championship or at least be in contention if you have LeBron on your team. And that means that, everybody's job is always up for the line. And not just coach. Like, I think even for a dude like D'Angelo Russell, like, think about how tough it is to you go into a season and everybody says, oh, yeah, that contract is just like it's built to get traded. Then all year long, you're thinking, okay, I kind of have to play well or else I'm going to be traded.
Right.
But do I really even want to stay in this situation that's pretty toxic? And then he has a good month and essentially it saves his Lakers career. And then he goes back to slumping. And it's a nightmare of a situation to be in. I mean, that's it's kind of comes with the territory of being on a LeBron team. But I mean, these guys have not performed nearly well enough either. I mean, to Darvin Ham's defense, I guess, what are you supposed to do when D'Angelo Russell has 0 points? Like,
no, he has 0 points. I mean, there
contribute.
was such, and this is from Tim Bontemps from ESPN. He goes, I don't know anybody they're hiring that's doing a better job than Darvin Ham has done.
And isn't that kind of what we say about Mike Brown too?
I mean, it just
there's
gets
levels to it
Chris,
for sure, but yeah.
There was a sequence where and they were up. This was towards the end when they started to lose the lead before halftime or close.
Right,
halftime.
and that's another thing too. They had the lead for what, 3 quarters,
but
2.5 quarters?
I'm telling you, Chris, D'Angelo Russell tried to get the ball, I think, to AD. Whoever was guarding him just jumped in the air and took it. Okay, the Nuggets scored. They came back down, or maybe the Nuggets did not score. They come back down. It's basically a fast break. LeBron gives it to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell takes an ill-advised 3. It was a terrible 3. He bricks it. The Nuggets get the rebound. They start their fast break. D'Angelo Russell at about half court reaches because he doesn't feel like playing defense. And the Nuggets just run down, and it goes from a 7-point lead, I think, to a 4-point lead, and Darvin Ham calls the timeout.
Yeah.
He's just not a winning
Darvin
player.
Ham's fault.
Apparently, apparently, and there are a bunch of clips about AD not really paying attention to Darvin Ham. It's a mess, and it's always somebody else's fault. All right, let's hear from the winning side of things in Jokic, what he had to say about just playing with guys and the process and how you get to the success that they've been having.
First was me and actually first was me and Gary Harris, then me and Jamal, then we had the group and Jameer Nelson was here, Wilson Chandler, and those guys. You need to, I think we need to. Well, first of all, you need to learn how to play, and then when you get the core, then we had Mike, then we had AG, and then we had Casey. You're just adding players that know how to play and know where to be, and then you need to experience like 2-3 years together, just to learn how to play with each other. Then you're gonna learn your teammates, where you're gonna kind of read his steps, how he's gonna go. If you go left hand, if you go right hand, it's everything. Seems like I think I know like what all they're gonna do in certain spots on the floor.
And there you go. I mean, like he's it's almost like he's talking to Kings fans,
right?
Because
right.
That's, and raise your hand if you've heard the Kings building being compared to Denver, please. Because everybody is probably exhausted of hearing about the comparisons, but that's the model right now. And it's definitely the one that fits the Kings the most. Brendan has talked about it a ton, in a way, just same way Jokic just laid it out. At first it was him and Gary Harris. And then after that, it's Wilson Chandler comes along, and then you run with that team for a couple of years, and then you understand, we need to get better at that spot and that spot. And then Aaron Gordon comes, and then Mike Malone comes, and then Aaron Gordon comes, and then KCP comes. And so it's a bit of it's not a bit of it is a process of you gotta, again, I say it all the time, you gotta hit your head on the ceiling a couple times before you understand, okay, we need to change these specific spots up. And the only way of knowing exactly what spots need to be improved is by reaching your limitations with it. And, I would say that in the same way, again, Jokic says Gary Harris turns into KCP. Right now, the Kings have Fox, they got Herter, they've got Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis. Clearly, we've talked all year long, that HB spot, no question, needs to be upgraded. I'm not 100% sold that Kevin Herter's spot has to be upgraded, but we can talk about that later. Those two are probably the spots that everyone's going to point to. The Kings need this year was definitely the second year of figuring each other out. Next year, they're going to improve. I just think it's yet another example of we're so early in this process. We can't lose sight of that. And you just have to continue to build upon these pieces, and you can't be afraid to move on from some pieces. And maybe you can throw Keegan Murray into that, but you have to always be willing to adjust. But at the same time, you have to give these lineups time to grow and to understand each other, because the Nuggets in year one are not going to be the same as the Nuggets in year three. And the only way of going through it is by seeing it and going through it.
But doesn't this mean that you're really, I guess the timeline is always a bit tough with these things, because don't you have to then relearn how to play with the upgrades, right?
I think the hope is that the upgrades in theory fit already. Like, you're bringing them in because they're already a seamless fit. It's just a better version of that player previously.
Because Aaron Gordon,
yes,
he went crazy last night.
You still are going to have to play some time with them. It's all going, and that's the worst part about it, is all of this takes time. And if people are impatient, and I'm definitely impatient, but the only way of going through it is by waiting. And it's a long process that we're in, and we're only in year 2.
Yeah, and you make some great points there, and of course, so did Jokic. The Kevin Herter thing, we're going to talk about it so much. throughout the offseason. I like exactly what Jokic was saying, and that's the truth. And he gave flowers to some of the guys that he worked with.
Yeah.
From Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson, that's a TBT right
and that was
there.
my guy back in the day. Definitely my type of player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you know what I mean. And you had Gary Harris, who's now in Orlando, and different guys that have come through. One thing, Chris, you can't gloss over the fact that he did say Michael Malone. And that's not to say that it won't end with Coach Mike Brown, but he did say that. We're not there, but that was brought up.
Hey, you can say the same thing about the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
We came up a couple years, had to figure things out, and then one of the things we had to figure out was, yes, the coach did need to be improved. And, I don't know if we'll get to that point here in Sacramento, but it's not out of the question. I think I would definitely say right now is premature to let go of Mike
I would
Brown.
agree.
Absolutely. But no, that change might happen at some point. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee that Mike Brown is not going to coach this team for the rest of time. He's going to be fired at some point. It's the cycle of that job. At some point, every single coach is fired. Steve Kerr will be fired or let go from that position at some point here. And so, at some point, Mike Brown might need to be one of the things that is adjusted. But I think ultimately right now they should still be in the talent acquisition phase of it. And then once you feel like you have the proper talent and the coach isn't getting enough of that talent, that's when you make the upgrade. But right now, I don't know if you would say Mike Brown is 100% maximizing the roster he has, but at the same time, it's not far off. I don't think it's egregious enough to let him go right now.
When we return, we discuss the NBA games from last night, and also today, Joel Embiid putting up a 50-burger, also dealing with a condition, and it was a very eventful day. A very eventful day for Joel Embiid yesterday. We discuss, and we also get into some Kings and fair foul. Also at 1:15, you're not going to miss someone who had a little too much fun on draft night. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Truck Month?
We are very excited to be celebrating 75 years in business by doing what we do best, helping you get the truck you need for less. Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. And with over 500 new Rams available, you won't find a better selection in all of California.
Wow, 75 years? That is amazing.
It all started with my grandpa and great-grandpa's dream, and it's grown over the years to where we've had a chance to serve tens of thousands of customers and show them there's something special about Hoblet you just can't get at those big city auto mall dealerships.
Come experience the difference at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
11,000 total net savings after 5,000 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify. 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible first responder association. More than 5 of the total net savings. See dealer for details.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text MAINE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text MAIN to 321-321. That's MAINE to 321-321.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to score big with a the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We're bringing you the hottest acts and the biggest concerts all season long. First up, on May 10th, it's a night of laughs as Pete Davidson takes the stage at Hard Rock Live. It's comedy gold and a night you won't want to miss. Visit hardrockhotelsacramento.com for tickets. And June 8th, Live Nation brings NF to the Golden One Center as he lights up the stage with his high-energy performance. Visit Live Nation or Ticketmaster.com to score your tickets today. But wait, the fun doesn't stop there. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, featuring legends like Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. It's a concert experience that'll rock your world. And looking ahead to August 22nd, get ready to kick up some dust with Creed Fisher at Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. Keep the adrenaline pumping, Sacramento. Visit SacktownSports.com for all the details and ticket information. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate guide to the hottest shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hi, it's Brian from Bennett's Restaurants. Springtime is a fun time. So to celebrate, we created a new menu of our favorites from Baja. Plenty of new food. Enjoy grilled skirt steak, wild prawns with pineapple, fresh sea bass, and a shrimp tostada with piles of shrimp. Or maybe our fresh empanadas stuffed with carnitas and cheese are more your speed. Enjoy our newest dessert, Kylie's Churros, with a vanilla cream center. Visit Bennett'sRestaurants.com and come enjoy our new Baja menu today. Eat well, stay well.
Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
From the 209, except Coach Pop. He doesn't get fired. Yeah, that's one.
Spoelstra.
There's Spoelstra one. For now. There's Pop, Spoelstra. We don't even know Spoelstra, but maybe you have Steve Kerr. I don't know. I really don't know how the Steve Kerr thing is going to end.
I mean, all of them end sour was my bigger point, is that nobody gets to walk off.
Phil
into
Jackson.
The sunset. But even Phil Jackson was pretty much asked to leave, and that was like a very contentious situation.
Almost identical to Belichick, like asked to leave.
Right.
Pretty much. Like, hey man, go read the room.
Right, Pete Carroll was asked to
leave
the room,
and that was an age thing with Pete Carroll. I think.
I don't know if I don't think legally they can say it.
I maybe shouldn't have said that. Age isn't. Listen, I hate Pete Carroll. I hate the Seahawks. I don't want a lawsuit.
I hear you. Yeah, look, they're out there. It just doesn't happen very often. And what does happen often is Joel Embiid doing his thing when he's healthy, and he was relatively healthy last night.
Definitely.
And led the Sixers to a much-needed victory. Because Frankie was just talking about the Western Conference and what you said. Yes. So the Eastern Conference, the Sixers take care of business. And by the way, we had Jason Dumas of Con4 News. Jason left me on red. I tagged him on Twitter because I was as somebody who went to school in Philly. By the way, Philadelphia fans were upset at Villanova because Villanova gave a shout out to the Knicks because the three players went to Villanova.
I mean, what are you supposed to do?
And then after all that, now I sound like Karl Anthony Towns.
All
that arena sounded like Madison Square Garden yesterday. There were so many Knicks fans in there. Philadelphia, you should be embarrassed. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. I didn't even know they traveled like that. I thought Golden One Center was the only place that could get split. But apparently, it's a little train ride, right? Yeah. How long is that train? Is it like an hour?
I mean, it's not more than 2.
Right.
And I saw reports that Philly hadn't sold out, and then some Sixers fans said, oh, that's just people reset. Whatever the case is, that was bad.
Yeah, get your chickens in line.
That was bad.
That's not what you want.
And when you have Joel Embiid dropping 50 points and you pulled away towards the end, but it's pretty close the whole time, that is going to be tough. So, Chris, on top of Joel Embiid and what he's dealing with his knees essentially all the time, Joel Embiid, it came out yesterday, and it's always not funny, but it's always interesting when something was supposed to be held a secret, and then Woj comes out and says, the team didn't want anybody to find out.
Right.
But I found out in some way, somehow, that Joel Embiid, I guess it was during the play-in game, was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, which is a mild condition of Bell's palsy, which is a condition that causes sudden weakness in the muscles on one side of the face. Often the weakness is short-term and improves over weeks. The weakness makes half of the face appear to droop. Smiles are one-sided, and the eye on the affected side is hard to close.
Yeah, and like this has been something, if I know you've been seeing it on socials, but like this has been something that people have been tracking since really the playoffs had started. Joel had this really weird moment where I think he was at the free throw line. There was also one where he was laying on the ground, and people saw on the broadcast and screen recorded or recorded their TVs, posted it on socials, and Joel couldn't blink. He was blinking like normal out of one of his eyes, but the other one was staying wide open. And people were like, what is this about? People were assuming maybe he was on like really intense painkillers that, essentially numbed his face. And then yesterday, as the game was going on, people noticed essentially he looked like he was talking like Two-Face, like the Batman villain Two-Face. Right. Literally, almost like he had a stroke. Half of his face just wasn't moving. And then you get the Woj report after. I wonder how much of it, crazy enough, like you said, Woj, did this only come out because people had seen so much, and how much can you really deny it? I don't know if you saw as well, Joel in the post game after game 2, he did the entire press conference like this with his head down, and didn't just kind of look like he was
when he was in his locker room, right?
Yes, he was at his locker, and his head was down, and I think a lot of people just read it as, oh, he's disappointed. That was obviously after the Maxey gets bumped by Hart and DiVincenzo or whoever, Hart and Brunson, and so maybe he was upset about that. But 2020 hindsight, he was probably hiding his face so that nobody could see it up close that something was clearly wrong.
Yeah, and we're wishing him the best. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. Maybe it didn't. If you were paying closer attention, a really bizarre game. He drops 50. The Sixers win. Everything comes out about his diagnosis. And he had a play, Chris. We got to be honest here. He probably should have been ejected.
Yes.
And
uncalled for.
Your boy had something to say, not about that, about something else, which led to Kings fans, media getting on one Draymond Green. Draymond hopped in.
Find his way in here.
Draymond hopped in and said that it was a foul. They said Embiid got fouled, and it got flipped into an offensive foul. And Draymond was basically saying, "Yeah, this is. I mean, what are we doing?" He was kind of copying his boy LeBron a little bit. And then you had somebody respond, and I'm looking here. Somebody respond, and Draymond said, you mean when Sabonis grabbed my leg? So that just sent everybody into a doozy. And for Deuce Mason, a lot of people had some things to say to Draymond Green. I'm looking at all the replies, and it was pretty funny, Chris, how that whole thing unfolded. And Draymond just really can't help himself.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just wasn't even close to the same situation either. Like when Joel pulled down Mitchell Robinson yesterday, Mitchell Robinson was like in the air, either trying to get a putback or trying to grab the rebound. And as Mitchell is like in the air, Joel is pulling his ankles down onto Joel. So like,
he pulled him
you
down.
Can twist your ankle.
No, he did. He does have a diagnosed sprained ankle now, Robinson. But I don't know that he'll miss or not.
Sure.
And there could be some gamesmanship here with the Knicks to say, hey, you're going to take a look at this. Who knows? Now I have what happened. So this random, literally as we joke, this is when we joke about random users. So Draymond Green says Joel sells calls. I get it. But that no call on the MIDI was wild with an emoji. Random guy, literally JN31802. That's literally the guy's Twitter name. Says, but you have nothing to say about him grabbing Mitchell Robinson's leg in midair. LMAO, bleeping dirty bum. Draymond responds to him and says, "You had nothing to say when Sabonis grabbed my ankle mid-run. Now, did you?" And that's what sent Kings fans all into Draymond's mentions. Deuce Mason says, "Mid-run, stop it. You ever go back and watch a replay? You ran after the stomp." Now, Draymond is not going to spend time going back and forth, but I'm sure he understands the fact that he said that was going to light a fire under people with the Kings. But, yeah, that he just can't help himself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what Draymond was trying to prove there.
I'm not sure either.
Like, it's just like Deuce said. I mean, it just wasn't the same thing at all either. Like, Draymond pretty much went out of his way to stomp on Sabonis. I know he says, "Where was I going to put my foot?" and all that stuff, but it was not at all equally created. It was not the same. And if you look at that Draymond replay, Sabonis definitely does grab towards him, but I don't think Sabonis's intention at all was to, hey, let me yank Draymond down here. And, there was nothing. I really don't think there was anything dangerous about what Sabonis did or could have done, or maybe even was trying to do. Joel literally got this dude up in the air and tried to pull him straight down onto him. Like, dudes have twisted their ankles. I feel like you can break your ankle if you fall wrong onto Joel. I just think it was trash. I agree. I think he should have.
It was really bad.
It was really bad.
Mitchell wasn't in the air. Joel was already. We can look at the replay. Joel was on the ground, and Joel's defense is that kind of the stand over him thing. Joel grabs his legs as Mitchell is, I think, trying to get. He's still playing. And Joel just grabs him down. But maybe because in the air, that would have been insane. But I think he kind of just grabs him. Hey, you're not going anywhere. And it wasn't I don't think it was to protect himself. It was just a bad look.
And there was a couple weird moments from Joel yesterday too, where he's just flopping and oh no, he jumps in the air. I'm looking at it here. Mitchell Robinson is trying to get a putback, and Joel straight up grabs his legs on the way up. Yeah. On the way up.
I mean, he should have been ejected.
He should have been
ejected. Instead, he dropped 50 and now it's 2-1. Maybe that'll be on the last 2-minute report. That's just how it goes. When we return, we discuss some of the NBA games that are happening tonight, also what went down last night, and a very interesting time when this whole thing came out in Los Angeles, the other team in LA. Well, FX is making a show about it. Hulu is. We'll play that for you. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Yeah, Chris, I'm trying to remember when this even happened, but the Donald Sterling situation and I guess there's no real other way to put this, the racist remarks and everything that was said from him. And what was her name? Viviana,
yes,
whatever her name was. V.
Yeah.
Stiviano. Well, FX and Hulu. I personally like, we were saying, hey, do you like do you like documentaries versus the kind of docu-series? Right. And I love my drama, so I am kind of all in on this. And we're gonna play the audio of some of the audio for the trailer here, and ask everyone, are you intrigued?
Let's hear it for the fabulous Clippers and our new coach, Doc Rivers.
The Clippers have never won a championship, ever.
We are going to win this year, and it will change your life.
Look at you. Is that Havarti?
Are you trading DeAndre Jordan?
Excuse me?
This is my assistant, V.
I'm Mr. Sterling's right-hand arm. How can V have a Ferrari? Oh, hi, Mrs. Sterling.
I love my calendar, girl.
It's the rise of the takers. I hired somebody to follow the money. She's suing me. I need to show them that I have the power.
Are you stupid or something? Don't bring black people to my games.
Wild.
It's going to be insane. It is. I've heard. I think it was Ramona Shelburne.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
yeah. Oh, there we go. It's I heard a Ramona Shelburne podcast. She did a 30 for 30, actually an audio 30 for 30 based off of this series as well. And I would highly recommend you go listen to that, because the real stuff is absolutely insane. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of it in this whatever is this a docu-series? I don't know. I guess
docudrama.
A docudrama. Yeah. And very similar to that OJ series back in the day. And I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm curious how much they're going to overplay it. How much of this is, like the OJ docu show, or how much of it is going to be like the Lakers Showtime show, where they take a lot of entertainment liberties.
Right. And everyone that was actually involved did not like Showtime. I think that's part of the reason it did not continue.
Yes,
to be honest. I don't know if that was the reason, but that was a crazy time, man. And the whole thing came out, and it was just so random.
Yes.
And then you find out about when he owned buildings and didn't let certain people live in the buildings, and then the whole V. Stiviano part of it. It was just, and the hat thing, that the visor
was iconic.
That was just a bizarre situation. Yeah. And that was, I think, one of the first time, not to say Adam Silver, it's hard for me to figure out whether a commissioner is good or bad. That was a situation where a lot of people said, well, good on Adam Silver for doing that. It was his first big move. It was his first big move. But was there any other option?
No, that's what everyone says too. It's the layup of layups, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I guess it could have been like, oh yeah, we're going to suspend him for 2 years. And I don't know. After it had gotten to the point where it ended up getting, like, it was kind of clear and obvious. It was going to be a lifetime suspension. It was just, can a commissioner essentially have the stones to actually banish an owner? I don't think that had ever been done, but yeah, it was a weird moment for that too. I completely forgot about that angle. And then you tie in the fact that, it's crazy how many stars are involved in, like, if you actually watch the trailer, for everyone, I know we obviously just played the audio, but they've got somebody playing Chris Paul. They've got somebody playing DeAndre Jordan. They showed Matt Barnes is included in there. Like, it's just
Doc
crazy.
Rivers, of course.
Doc Rivers,
Lawrence Fishburne playing Doc Rivers.
We buried the lead there. It's Lawrence Fishburne playing Doc Rivers and Ed O'Neill playing Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people that are massive figures even today, that are involved in this story. It's nuts. And I forget the fact they played the Warriors in that series as it happens. So you have that angle as well. And it'll be interesting to see if they have Steve Ballmer too. That's almost somebody where
you have to.
You can't. I mean, who even plays Steve Ballmer?
They might actually.
It has to be Steve Ballmer. It
Yeah.
has to, because if anybody else plays him, it's going to be like, that guy's ridiculous. And it's like, no, that's just Steve Ballmer.
Right. If no one had seen him before, they'd say,
pretty freaking cool, man. Pretty freaking cool.
Hollywood, they're doing too much to get.
Yeah.
No, that's
just him. They actually toned it down.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. I have high hopes.
Very excited about that.
June 4th on Hulu.
June 4th on Hulu. Hulu, they did, like you said, they did OJ, and they also did the Bill Clinton one as well. So yeah, so and I watch him, and I'll definitely be checking that out and just seeing what angle they take on everything. This is another cool bit, Chris, and I guess Keon wouldn't count in this one because the Kings didn't make the playoffs, but this is a cool bit from NBA Communications. 56% of players on 2024 NBA playoff teams have experience in the G League.
That's insane.
56%.
That sounds wrong. That's crazy. Yeah. It's not wrong. I'm looking at it. It's from the NBA PR. That is not wrong at all. But that sounds like a number that's just like, there's no way you're telling me half of the players that are playing right now in the playoffs spent some time in the G League. But they, it's true. I mean, like, you don't even think about it, but like a guy like Malik Monk spent time in the G League.
Yeah, they have a list of 6 NBA awards finalists of guys that have G League experience. There are 5 head coaches: Mark Daigneault, Chris Finch, Darvin Ham, Joe Mazzulla, Nick Nurse, and then the NBA awards finalists: Rudy Gobert,
like
Malik
you don't
Monk,
think of that.
Naz Reid, Bobby Portis Jr., Mark Daigneault, and Chris Finch. And this isn't like the like Major League Baseball, how I'm gonna rehab with the minor league team, and that's how they got on this list. No, they were legit on the G League team.
Yes, they were developing. They were actually doing what the league is there to do. And I mean, it's great that they also throw the coaches in there because like Mark Daigneault's a dude who got started coaching the G League, same way as Jordy as well. Like Jordy Fernandez coached the Canton Charge, I believe, which is the Cavs G League team at first. It's like truly it hasn't been talked about, but the G League is a massive success. Like the fact that you have a number like this definitely is a symbol of it. I think the fact that teams are actually using it like a minor league system, you're seeing people actually come out of that system, guys like Jordan Ford even, and then you have examples of Keon Ellis, and absolutely, you've got some guys who win awards as well. Rudy Gobert, the fact that it touches all elements of the NBA, I think is sick. And you get like fun stories like Jeremy Lin too. Like Jeremy Lin kept his career alive before Linsanity by bouncing around the G League. He was on the Reno Bighorns, for God's sake, before Linsanity. And then he finally gets his opportunity, and it's one of the greatest stories in sports because he literally had it felt like a year, but it was probably 2 weeks of crazy games. And we know who Jeremy Lin is today. And he had probably like an 8-year career essentially off of 2 good weeks. So I think that's really the massive success of the G League for me.
Does it feel like the G League has improved as a product and improved in its ability to help players form and develop?
Yeah.
And I guess the question would be, what did they change? I mean, the G League Ignite essentially didn't even work.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't work at all. I think the big thing is, in a weird way, like players took it serious. I think it's kind of a 2-way street, and the league could have wanted to make it work as much as they could, but ultimately it was on the players to buy in and to take those games seriously, and to not, because for the first couple of years it was a showcase. It was like, hey, we're going to put our rookie down there. He's going to average like 30 points a game in the G League. It's going to get you excited. He's going to come to the pros, and you're probably never going to see from him again. Now it feels like, the Kings. We'll just use the Stockton Kings, for example. They have Stanley Johnson. They've got Jeremy Lamb. They've got DeAndre Burton, who spent some time in the NBA. Even a guy like Mason Jones. Like they have actual real players that make it legitimate, essentially. Like it's not like you're playing against one big name and then a bunch of dudes who probably are coming off the bench in Europe. Like these are legitimate guys who could start in Europe, who could maybe get some end of the bench roles in the NBA, but they're deciding to try and keep their careers going and playing in the G League. So I think it's just really the fact that the level of competition, people viewed the G League pretty much equal to those European leagues, whereas before I think people said, it's kind of embarrassing to be in the G League. I'd rather just go cook in Europe. Nobody will know about it. I'll go collect checks, and then maybe once a month you'll see Jamal Crawford scored 57 points in the Taiwanese league or something like that.
Right.
And that gets your name kind of in the NBA circle. Now I think people understand, no, the best way of getting an NBA job is by being connected to the organization and having you be in their building or in their, kind of in their area for a period of time. And that's how you get noticed. So,
I think what you're talking about is somewhat similar to JUCO and junior college.
Absolutely.
And how,
Absolutely.
now that, Last Chance U came out, and
I need a new season.
There are different situations here where you can say, hey, it actually does make sense to go to junior college for athletics or academics, either way, save some money either way. So I think it's great to see that change and the idea and the narrative of G League, the stigma.
JUCO used to have a really bad stigma.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. When we return, we have fair or foul. Did somebody have a little bit too much fun on draft night? And I got some things that have been annoying me as well. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley with special guest, Foghat. ZZ Top, playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Chris, I'm not sure you saw this coming. I'm not sure any of us saw this coming. I guess I should say we should have seen it coming as we joke about flag football in the years to come. NFL players will be allowed to wear protective guardian caps over their helmets for in-game use this season, the league announced. And yes, if you've seen them, kind of looks, they look like, I guess, what your kids wear, and it just adds to the helmet. If you haven't seen it, they're pretty funny looking.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to not get a concussion, they're supposedly they help. And you already have guys in the league. It's crazy, man. You already have guys in the league joking about this as far as whether or not other players should be wearing them. And I mean, I think we saw this coming, Chris, but this just isn't going to go well. I don't know. Everyone's going to be shamed into not wearing them is what I'm saying.
I would think so. But at the same time, I mean, George Kittle does wear that weird helmet. So maybe not. I mean, maybe these guys do truly value, safety over swag, which is not something that I don't think a lot of people are going to opt for it, but it'll be interesting to see, just how the numbers end up showing if it truly does. Because if it does end up preventing concussions, I wouldn't be surprised if we see every quarterback wearing these things and really valuable position players wearing them. I'd be shocked if I were an O lineman, I would definitely wear one. Well, it'll be shocking. I think it'll definitely be shocking to a lot of the viewing audience, because when you first saw them pop up a couple years ago and during training camp, a lot of people had questions.
I got a question for you. And Nate, you can get in on this. Your boy, I just say that because you're the Niners fan. Your boy, John Feliciano, okay, American football guard for the San Francisco 49ers. It just got released, people. John Feliciano on Twitter. Y'all bleeps better not be wearing Guardian caps in game.
He wears one of the weird helmets, I think.
Well, he said that.
Well, that's crazy. He was my most underrated player for the Niners last year. Great player. But yeah, I think if anyone's going to wear them, 100%, as soon as you said that, all the O-line, D-line. Like, they're smashing heads every play no matter what. Right?
Question, do you think, I mean, I've seen John Feliciano tweet before. He had some things to say during, I think, after the Super Bowl about whose fault it was. He kind of threw somebody under the bus. Do you think that tweet gets deleted? Yes or no?
I don't know. It's dependent on the person.
Bad.
It's not
great.
Yeah,
it's not
but it's that tough guy mentality stuff. It's so political. Everything, it just gets so crazy. You know,
You probably
shouldn't have
said that. You probably shouldn't have said that if you're John Feliciano.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. I thought what I just said. I was like, oh. Yeah, I guess not. Like, if this rule happened 3 years ago when everything was so intense, things have died down a bit. I think it would be a bigger deal. I think it'd be more because anyone's looking for any outlook because, like, with the kneeing and COVID, all that stuff. I think people are going to get bullied into not wearing it. It's not a great tweet. It's not a great
Yeah, somebody said he might get fined by the league.
I doubt.
mean, it's just unnecessary, but these fines, they're just chump change.
I don't think he's a big enough face either for that. Because I feel like a lot of the times, it's like kind of how the IRS works. They want to make a statement out of getting someone. Like if you're the bigger you are, the harder you're going to fall. So
there you go.
All I know is homeboy better not get a concussion.
Yeah, and if he is wearing a different helmet, I mean, that's pretty funny. But maybe he's just saying, look, you can wear a bigger helmet, but don't wear one. It's just why?
I'm pretty sure about that. I remember him wearing that Kittle helmet. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's what I meant.
Let's get to fair or foul. And Chris, I'm going to throw this to you because you just happened upon this naturally as you're grinding film here on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, my night pretty much consisted solely of watching JJ McCarthy throw footballs. And, a part of that was just hearing what the analysis was. Wasn't really looking for draft grades, but just people that I thought I trusted and would give good insight. Mina Kimes definitely gave great insight. The people at the Athletic Football Show gave great insight. And then I was like, oh, Chris Sims, him and Mike Florio. I know Mike Florio is a really big Vikings fan. Chris Sims, former quarterback.
Right.
Seems like a perfect outlet for me to find out about JJ McCarthy.
Right.
And boy, oh boy, was he not in the mood to give good analysis. Not quite why you would think, though. I mean, it was definitely entertaining analysis. I don't know how quality it is. Just to kind of frame it, I thought it would be interesting to show the people. First off, here's how Chris Sims broke down Caleb Williams, the first pick in the NFL draft yesterday. Here's how it sounded when Chris Sims broke down that pick.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Caleb Williams is special, and I think he's a gym rat savant, right? I just like being around him a little bit. I can tell he's really into it, right? This is a special moment for him.
Perfect. That's all we needed to hear. You just heard Chris Sims. Sounds perfectly normal analysis.
Said savant.
He said savant.
Proper vocabulary.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. He's in a weird house or something.
He's in a weird house. He's in like a draft house that has like Dollar Tree Giants balloons behind
Jenga in the background.
It's a really strange setup. He's clearly very comfortable. And that ties us into now, everyone, please remember how Chris Sims just sounded breaking down Caleb Williams. Again, the first pick in the draft. Let's hear how Chris Sims sounded breaking down number 10 in the draft, JJ McCarthy. Just a little bit different sounding. I don't know. Maybe you guys can hear it.
And honestly, we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast and all that. He's got a personality and a work ethic and a persona that you feel like can lead your franchise in your locker room, right? He's the guy I said, right? My my daughter's boyfriend's right here. And I said, that's the guy you might want to bring in to replace him. And he doesn't even know. He's over there. And he's good. Yeah.
Fixed on the trap. He's not listening.
You know, also, like, Nate, I mean, I think Nate's watching the video back there. Like, I think the video definitely adds an element of it too.
If I could describe it, he's doing that thing drunk people do where they get way too close to you. They get in your bubble. He's in this dude's, I don't know who this guy is in his house, and he's pointing at the boyfriend. He's just trying to trash him. I've been that boyfriend before.
Yeah, you can tell that, the boyfriend's just sitting there like, oh man, her dad is really drunk right now. I'm not
We're on TV.
Yeah, he tries to bring him in. He's like, come here. No, he's a great kid. He's just such a great kid.
He gives him a noogie.
Yeah, this guy.
Keep the door open.
So here I was just trying to find my JJ McCarthy breakdown, and instead found myself being like, is he okay? Is he obliterated? And if you look at the YouTube comments, all of them, everybody kind of comes to the same conclusion.
But to be fair, you said the name of the show is...
It is Chris Sims Unbuttoned, and...
He's buttoned up to his neck in this video.
That is a great point.
The button is up to his neck, the top one.
Yes, he does have a very, very buttoned up shirt. So, you know...
I don't know
if
that
that's the point of the show.
Right.
Is
that what he's supposed to... Yes. Is that... Oh, you get to see him in a different light?
I just don't know if that's necessarily like a good idea.
A follow-up to this, do you think he was in the same state when he said all that great stuff about Kellen Mond when he was going to the Vikings, Chris?
He must have been, because he was obsessed with Kellen Mond. I've never heard Chris Sims wax poetic about a player the same way he did about Kellen Mond.
He said the best quarterback in that. That's just something I'll never forget.
Annual tradition.
Yeah, you know when you have like you just remember someone for one thing specifically, and it's like I'm never gonna forget that.
It's just also insane. It's just like I mean, you know, if you know you're gonna be on TV, like just you just got to skip that night. You know, as somebody who had to do a ton of Kings post games this year, there's a lot of nights where I probably wanted to be a bit like Chris Sims, but. You just kind of can't do that, buddy. So
not really.
The crazy thing is this is not on like Chris Sims's personal YouTube.
Yeah.
This is on NFL on NBC's YouTube channel.
Right. That was the surprising thing.
This man is collecting a check, but is also is having himself quite a night.
He's also bros with Kyle Shanahan, I believe, too.
I can see it.
So,
that tracks.
Little spot on.
Definitely tracks.
Yeah,
well, you know, Kyle had some fun before that Super Bowl presser.
That's right. That's right. He definitely did. All right. When we return, we are doing our draft on a bunch of different things. Be a part of the conversation, 916-339-1140. Also, we break down what's next for the Niners as we head into day 2 of the NFL draft. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. M43024.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 public golf courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
With a variety of weekly promotions, there's something for everyone to enjoy at a Sacramento Rivercats game. Don't miss a Toyota Family Value Tuesday featuring $2 hot dogs and $2 ice cream, or Thirsty Thursday featuring ice-cold beer. Join us on Smut Orange Fridays for happy hour and live music, and don't forget to stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with post-game fireworks. Find all promotional details at rivercats.com and make your plans to head out to Sutter Health Park this season.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Okay. It is time for our draft. Guys, we have five subjects here. And 916-339, if you want to be a part of the conversation, text line, Sack Chat, call line, of course, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. So, guys, we have 5 subjects here, and the way we're going to do it, we're just going to do first-round picks for each subject, okay? So, but same thing as a draft, you cannot take what somebody else has already said. So we're going to do it, and maybe you don't have the same pick anyway. So we're going to keep it pretty simple here to start, and we're going to go with drafting a Kings player. You can draft any Kings player of all time as your favorite Kings player. You are starting a new Kings roster. You can draft anybody. We did
Rochester included.
No. 85 to
Sacramento, okay? And we did an anonymous rotation during the break, and Nate came up first. Nate has the first pick in the Kings draft. Nate, who are you selecting with the first pick in the all-time Sacramento Kings draft?
This is going to be controversial.
Ooh, here we go.
There's
with
different
the number
rules.
1 pick? Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Allen
Allen
Iverson like Chuck did. I'm just going to go modern NBA, a guy I'd like to see play who I think would be great, The Rock, Mitch Richmond.
Wow.
That's my call. I know. Could be controversial, but that's my guy. That's what I'm taking.
Okay. Mitch Richmond is off the board.
That from Nate especially. Wow. Well, I'm going to have to go with C-Webb. I mean, he led the team further than it's ever been before. He's the best player on the Kings' best teams. This is an easy one, especially at number 2. He falls to number 2. I'm going to go C-Webb.
Great pick. I mean, no one blames you for that.
No, you can't. You really can't.
You know, it's tough, right? And there are a lot of names out there because I'm even thinking De'Aaron Fox, okay? But just for the fun of it, and I don't know if he should be first pick, but this got said not too long ago, and if we're just having some fun with this, it got said not too long ago that if this guy played in this NBA, he would destroy.
I know who you're going to say.
Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah, yep.
I want to see it.
I think it's too early of a pick. I think you could have got him in round 2, round 3, maybe.
Okay, well, okay. Now it's not like Ricky Pearsall. That's is basically the same thing there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Peja. Obviously, there are a lot of names here that you can go with. There's Bibby, of course. I do think De'Aaron Fox is a shady good first pick. To be honest,
wouldn't blame you at all. Yep, Vlade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good picks.
There's a lot of good picks.
Yeah, Doug was just in the building.
Doug.
You know
who you could take.
Oh.
Imagine if Doug just walks in. He's like, I heard what you said.
Buddy Hield was on the.
Stop.
Okay.
Dude. That's coming up.
You know who else you could have taken?
We got 4 other topics.
Tyrese Halliburton.
We got 4 other topics.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't that good here.
Alan, you get the back-to-back.
All right, I get the back-to-back. Draft your favorite Sacramento restaurant.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
This is a really tough one for me. I said this out loud. I'm stuck between 2, and I'll say the other one once I make the pick.
I don't even know where I'm going to go.
I'm stuck, but I'm actually going to go in a different direction than where Chris thinks I'm going to go.
Petra.
I'm not going Petra. And I'll give my reasons
joke.
why. I am going to go with Gumbo King.
Wow.
First pick overall. I went for my birthday. It was outstanding. I'm going Gumbo King with number 1.
Where is that?
Chris had what he thought my answer was written down.
Yes, I did.
Well, it's still on the board. I'm going Gumbo King.
Okay. That's great. So back to Chris then.
Yeah, back to me. There's a couple really, really good options. Yeah, I would go with South if South was still open. Shout out South, man. I miss it every day. But I'm going to go with what I thought Alan was going to go with. I'm going to go with Urban Root just because it's got such a good selection of everything. I don't know if it's got 100% like I would stamp it as the best food, but if I'm just going to tell somebody go to Sac and you're going to have a good time if you go there, won't be disappointed at all. Urban Root.
That was that was torn.
Yep. Nate, I can't wait for Nate's pick here. I'm so curious. Like, what is Nate's view of?
It's somewhere I brought up to you guys a couple times, but last night I was at one of my favorite places. The problem is the food isn't very good, but I love the drinks and the atmosphere. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Jungle Bird. That place, I like that place a lot.
Jungle Bird, first overall.
No, but I'm gonna go with Sutter Street Steakhouse in Folsom.
Oh, all right,
for sure.
Okay. Sutter Street Steakhouse off the board. We have a couple coming in here. Tang House on the board.
Tang House for sure.
Amid Rock says Fixins. I keep on hearing about Fixins.
Fixins really
you know
good.
where else I
Not
could have
as good as
went?
South.
You know where else I could have went? Number 1 pick, Morning Fork.
Oh, Morning Fork is
my
incredible.
goodness.
So good.
I'm happy with my pick.
Orphan
but
Breakfast House too. I'm telling y'all, Orphan is.
Jay is approving all of these, which makes me feel better. All right, next one.
Nate, you got it.
Nate?
It's draft your favorite bust of all time. Somebody you thought was going to be incredible, never panned out.
Man, okay.
And I think there's different levels to this.
I'm not going to pick
very different levels.
I'm not going to pick Kings.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just because
spread it out.
There's just so many options. I mean,
that's crazy.
Sorry. I mean, I was like, then Macklemore. You know, I was high on Frank Mason.
Sure.
I thought Frank Mason would be what Davion is. Yeah, yeah.
33.
That's true.
31.
I'm going to go with the guy when I was just pretty early into just being like a diehard Niners fan, AJ Jenkins for the Niners.
Okay.
Second to last pick in the draft, receiver, very similar to what happened this year, as I'm saying it.
Wow. Second to last pick?
31, I believe. 31 or 30.
You mean in the first round?
Yes.
Okay,
Excuse me.
Okay.
It was either 30 or 31, but he didn't have a catch with the 49ers, I don't believe. I think he played a handful of snaps. John Harbaugh, not a good draft coach. He came in similar to John Gruden and Steve Kerr. Took in that talented roster and built it. He did draft Alden Smith, but he botched that. So I thought he was going to be raw. I was so excited for the Niners to have the number one wide receiver to take over because I never thought Crabtree was that good, and he wasn't. So he just fell so flat. Ended up with the Chiefs, back with Alex Smith. Didn't do anything in the league.
There you go.
Yeah,
Chris?
I've got a couple different options. I got 2 football options, 2 basketball options. I'm going to talk it out. Reggie Bush for sure for me. I don't know. Does that count as a bust for Reggie? Like he was okay.
He was so hyped.
He was so hyped. He definitely did not live up to that level of hype. And Reggie was probably my favorite athlete. I think that might be truly like the most fan I've ever been of any athlete ever was Reggie Bush at USC. So I'm heavily leaning there. Johnny Manziel was a fun time. I don't know how much I actually believe Johnny the pro,
right?
But Greg Oden, huge for me. Loved Greg Oden.
Yeah.
That ultimately I would say wasn't his fault, but still would definitely be a bust. And another Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn,
man.
I love Johnny Flynn.
I wanted to go to Syracuse because of Johnny
I was like,
Flynn.
this guy is the one. He had the headband.
Yeah.
He had the long shorts. He was maybe like 5'10", 5'11".
Maybe.
I believed in Johnny Flynn so much, and even to this day, I believe he's better than Wardell, Stephen Curry.
Okay,
so
all right.
I'm gonna go Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. Yeah, Reggie Bush was the first person where it was, that was around the age where I think I was getting ready for high school or whatever the case was. And it was the first time where somebody balled out and then it didn't pan out in the NFL where you thought it was going to work out because that's just how it does. And it did not happen that way. Yeah, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go Jamarcus Russell. I mean,
great pick.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong there.
No one's going to argue it either.
No. We are drafting our favorite game day food and drafting things you would buy if you were rich. When we return, also, we break down what will happen tonight in the NFL draft. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet? an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Hi, it's Brian from Bennett's Restaurants. Springtime is a fun time, so to celebrate, we created a new menu of our favorites from Baja. Plenty of new food. Enjoy grilled skirt steak, wild prawns with pineapple, fresh sea bass, and Sonoran beef enchiladas, to mention a few. Try our empanadas stuffed with carnitas and cheese. Love shrimp? Try the new shrimp tostada. We make great guacamole and salsa too. Enjoy our newest dessert, Kylie's Churros, with a vanilla cream center. Visit Bennett'sRestaurants.com and come enjoy the new Baja menu today. Eat well, stay well.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Sacktown Sports. Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Before we get to what the Niners will do, also start getting them in now. 916-339-1140. Shout outs and closeouts. Who do you want to shout out this week? You can shout out Ricky Pearsall. You can shout out the NFL draft. You can shout out Kyle Shanahan. You can shout out a team who traded with you. Shout out the Bills. You can shout out your best friend if you want to. Your dog, your cat, your bird, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, anybody you want. But first, let's wrap up the mock draft. We already have people chiming in on what they would buy if they were rich. But first, we had draft your favorite game day food. I think it's back to you, Chris, for the first pick in the draft.
No, it is you.
It is me?
It's you.
First pick?
Yes.
Wow.
You just had the last pick.
I'm so nice. I'm purposely gonna leave what I know you'll take.
You can do whatever you want.
No.
You do whatever you want. Look, you're trying to win this draft.
No.
You're not here to make friends.
No.
You're here to
And you
win
know
a draft.
what? And you know what, Chris? This is even with you dogging me out.
What are you talking about?
And this morning in the Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross show, when you gave me John Daly or whoever,
I don't even know. I forgot who you the Property Brothers.
Yeah,
or something.
you gave me the Property Brothers.
You would know them though. You love those shows.
No, but was that the Property version? I thought someone.
I honestly don't know.
No, he said something. Yes, Jason said something else, but it was the Property Brothers.
When somebody said Home Improvement, I thought they meant the Tim Allen show.
Yes, yeah, I did too, but he was talking about the Property.
Threw me off.
And Jonathan Scott.
That threw me off even more. I want to recount on this. I want to recount on this.
I was going to give you Jet Li because I didn't know who he was, but I guess.
And then I gave Christopher Law too short, and somehow he got it right. All right. Favorite game day food? I am still going to be nice to Chris. I'm not going to take what I know he would want, and I'm going to go with, if there's a really good nacho out there, I like a good nacho.
Like a nacho bar?
Yes.
It's got to be, right? Because you can't have that pre-made.
You can't have it sit, no.
No, you can't have it sit, but I like a good nachos.
What's like your ideal toppings? Obviously you got to have the cheese.
Yeah, you got to have cheese, got to have guac.
On there,
got to have cheese, got to have guac.
What meat? Chorizo?
I'm
ground beef.
Carne
asada.
Carne asada.
Yeah, I like it all. chicken. I like mixing it up.
Chris, are you next?
Yes, I'm next.
I know what you're taking.
Yeah, I mean, this is easy. I
Yeah.
mean, well, yeah. I'm going to go with the personal favorite. I'm going to go with the wings.
I
I mean,
know.
if you bring wings to a party, no one's going to be upset. There's such variety.
Mm-hmm.
And, no one's ever, you got anywhere from plain to barbecue to buffalo to lemon pepper. So absolutely going
Are
wings.
you ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
Yeah, me too.
It's all blue cheese out here.
Yeah,
Okay.
That does not surprise me.
That means that you
oatmeal
no,
raisin.
you know who eats blue cheese. You know who takes blue cheese. That's
The guy
people
from
that
Snow
really
Dogs.
that really understands. You really
It's a sick
understand a palate. You really have a
Yeah,
real
like the guy from
fine-
Snow
a
Dogs.
fine palate for food. Amid Rock says
Oh.
lumpia for his.
Ooh,
Joe
that's
Giroux
strong.
still rocking with
Yes.
his last day. Foot-long sub, but from a proper
Okay,
sandwich
Joe,
spot.
Joe, guess who's not getting invited? Joe.
Now
Joe's
he's
getting
off
invited
the
to
rails.
zero
Joe's
of
off
my
the rails.
parties.
This is the last day. Nate, what do you have?
I'm gonna bend the rules because who cares?
Okay.
Shout out to both of my parents. I watch every Niner
Hey,
game.
we're not doing
my,
shout-outs and closeouts
my
yet.
dad makes a nasty, in a good way, potato salad, and my mom makes a delicious spinach dip. They're both amazing.
I'm. You know what? I'm with you on the dips.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. You can
It's
just
just
stack.
fun.
It is stack calories, easy.
Parents' meals.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next, and
That's Nate. Nate gets to close us out with thing you would buy if you were rich. The first
There you
thing
go,
you would
Nate.
buy if you were rich.
A house in California. Literally a studio, one bedroom house.
We're not giving you that much money.
Okay, yeah, that's
yeah.
way too much. I'd probably buy a 90s M3 BMW or a Toyota Supra.
I do love those.
MK4 Toyota Supra.
We know Nate's a big car guy.
Big car
Bit
guy.
of a car guy.
Why don't you buy VIP tickets to Juicy J show?
Because we're friends already. I don't need to buy tickets. I'm the last one streaming his music, so he's hooked me up.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Chris?
If I were rich, the first thing I would buy is a personal chef. 1,000%. I'm so sick of
That's
tired of
awesome,
cooking.
man. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you are the same. Somebody else on the Sack Chat said that they would buy a
It
personal
would
chef.
just be
Beeman.
great. You just don't have to worry about it. Like, and if I want a request, I can put it in and don't have to worry about looking recipes or none of the work. It's just ready to go.
Yeah.
Probably save so much time out of your days too. Second would be someone to do my laundry. I am also so sick of laundry.
Do you
I've been
have
like in
a
3-year battle with my
washer and dryer in your house?
I do.
You're
And
lucky. Yeah,
it's the
that's
worst. I mean, it makes it even
yeah.
worse. I just leave my clothes in the
Oh.
dryer after they wash, and it's just like I'm so bad at it.
All right.
Terrible.
I'm
Yeah.
just going with I'm just going with all the easy answers here.
What did you go
Lamborghini.
with the food again? Sorry, I'm writing them down.
Nachos.
You went nachos.
I'm going with I'm not going Lamborghini. I'm rich. Okay? If I'm rich, you know what I'm doing. I'm going PJ, private jet.
Okay.
I'm up in the sky,
Can
baby.
Can I go for a ride with you?
Sure.
Just one.
To your house.
Okay.
To your very expensive house that you bought.
Yeah, my one bedroom.
There you go.
Gonna
To
be
your
so
studio.
sick.
Yes, to
Yeah.
your studio. I'm going private jet there, man.
All right. So
That's easy
Alan's
work.
team is Peja Gumbo Beja Gumbo King, Jamarcus Russell, nachos, and a private jet.
That is great.
On my side, I've got C-Web, Urban Root, Reggie Bush, wings, and a personal chef.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate's got Mitch Richmond, Sutter Street Steakhouse, AJ Jenkins, his parents' meals, and an M3 Mercedes.
BMW.
Whatever. BMW.
Dude, a Gumbo King, nachos, and Jamarcus Russell's for some reason.
Alan
It's
did
a
not
theme,
think about
yeah.
it. It's a lot of good
Yeah.
team chemistry.
Yes.
I just don't
Yes.
know if it's good for
I have
like
the most
your team.
cohesive. I have the most cohesive
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Alan thought about the team aspect of
Wow,
it. You know?
That's awesome.
That
man.
is outstanding. Shout outs and closeouts. Get them in. They're starting to come in right now. Shout out to this person has a pet bird. Shout out to my bird.
There we go.
Yeah, we do
Yes,
not
why
we
don't
pet
discriminate.
shame on
Yeah,
this show. Another one. Shout out to my uncle, always holding it down for me. Helps me
that.
train in baseball. Great stuff there. From the 916. Shout out to my daughter volleyball tournament.
Ooh.
Chris, volleyball
how about that?
tournament this summer. You have to you got to get some W's when you go to a tournament. It's almost that time.
Yes, that's right.
Summer ball is
Yep.
coming around the corner.
Yeah, I got an email the other day for a golf league that I was like, is it really getting towards that time of
You
season?
do a golf league?
I have never done it before, but I got an
Okay.
email for it, and it definitely perk my ears up a bit. So it's like $20 a round. So yeah, it's definitely getting towards that time of the year where outdoor activities are
Get me back into golf, guys.
Let's
Bring
do
me
it.
in.
You keep saying that. Just you know.
You guys don't play though. You
Yeah,
haven't played since like the first month you
Last
worked
year.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, together, no.
Yeah.
But the summer's around the corner. You know, we're still working on maybe
We got to get the Dave golf tournament, right?
We got the Dave golf tournament. That is with media.
Yep.
And then we're doing golf with some of our listeners that we are
Sure.
working on that
Yep.
as well. So
This
a
is
lot
all real?
Yes, there is a lot coming down the pipe this summer. Continue to listen to Stiles and Watkins. Nate, real quick.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, Nate, Brandon Ayuk, Debo, are they on the team come Monday?
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes. And then a quick shout out to my friend Alex Sherman. Just had a kid this week.
Nice.
There you go.
Just real quick. Yeah.
Congrats. Chris, Debo, Ayuk, are they both on the team come Monday?
No, I think Debo's gone just because I like drama.
I think
like the
that
juice.
Debo is gone as well. Too many cooks in the kitchen and not enough Gumbo King. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Thank you to Emil Fergoso doing an outstanding job for us. Nate Littlefield, thank you as well. Thanks for listening all week. We got you next week getting you ready for the King. Well, the King's off season is here. And what is next for them? Also, all the NBA talk you could want and NFL and Major League Baseball because I just love it so much. Thank you again, Stiles and Watkins. You have the drive guys up next. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Jay Johnson. Enjoy your weekend. And until Monday, secure the bag like the beam.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings